you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a Monday edition of the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Big E, of course, right here to my, dead center. Kadog, still an asshole, yet here. How's everybody feeling?
Very well.
Very well.
Very well. What a good weekend, huh? Good weekend of Red Bull activities and such.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We all just kind of making our way back from the GRC downtown Carlisle.
Shake off some of those Red Bull vodkas, right?
Yeah, I had like 4 of them. Ha! I didn't realize those go down faster than any beer I've ever had. They're just amazing.
Oh, because all you do is you chase. I mean, I didn't have any, but I'm sure all you do is chase the Red Bull. You know what I mean?
Delicious, refreshing Red Bull.
Exactly. Especially with the cranberry. Yeah, it seemed like you were using the cranberry flavor. I feel like that would just be like, again, I don't drink vodka anymore, but I feel like that would be a great mixture.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Maybe too good of a mixture.
It felt like a long weekend. I went out to Beth's on Friday.
Well, you got out of the house. That's what it was.
Is that what it
These
is?
weekends.
Yes.
Wow. And
Oh,
wow.
amazing. Yeah, look what happens.
What'd you do? You went out
to Beth's. Her parents have a place on a.
Oh, I thought you were about to
on a
suggest
lake.
that you just drove
down the street.
down the street.
No.
I was like, oh, whoa.
No, her parents. She had a friend in town.
Oh yeah,
with like a 2-year-old.
yeah, boy.
And so we went out there and just played at the water, and I just threw the ball to Izzy in the lake.
Nice.
Which is so highly entertaining. Just whipping a ball as far out in the lake as you can and watching this dog just tirelessly doggy paddle out there, get the ball, and then come back.
That Proops is a hunting dog wishing it could be a hunting dog.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. At one point, Beth's dad grabs Izzy, and they've got a bunch of birds, or like, what are those shitty, not seagulls, but the
Pelican?
Yeah, pelicans. No, it might have been seagulls actually that hang out by the lake, right on the beach there, and just kind of meander and shit all over everything.
Seagulls.
And he's just like, Izzy, over here, and Izzy's just like, bird, no way. And then you just see them all just scatter.
Nice.
It's like,
Wow.
get out of here, you.
Wow.
So yeah, and then we all went down. Mickey and K-Dog went Saturday to represent the Detroit Cast at the GRC on Belle Isle, and we all went out there. You and I, Jay, and Big E, and everybody went out, and what a blast!
Cool, very cool setup.
Yeah,
some really cool cars. I'm not at all a car guy or a racing guy, but that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's weird when you walk into a place and the drivers, like, it's usually, I mean, we've all been to an Indy race or a NASCAR race, and it's so you're kept away from everything. And it's really kind of embraces everything. So you see the cars, they're right there. Like, the crew is working on them, and
like 2 feet away from you.
Yeah. And they're not roped off. It's just like, and when a car's coming down, like what would be their pits,
yeah,
they'll like just kind of bump you out of the way. I mean, they're just like rolling up and down. It's crazy.
Dude, the thing about that is, I think I was saying it probably to you guys, or definitely I was saying it to Kadog, but NASCAR used to be a little more like that, a little more fan friendly. This idea that you could just kind of walk around but what happened is they got big and successful, and then you just can't. Right.
Yeah.
And this form of auto racing, although I think worldwide is more popular, in America is not. So they really got to work to still build that base up. They're still, so when you make a connection where you can actually sit there, Kadog had a moment, I believe, where he actually met one of the drivers and like had them walk behind his car, right, and check it out.
I met drivers, but what Eric's talking about is I was asking one of the mechanics a bunch of questions about the cars because I am a car guy and I was really curious.
And he's like, Jay and I were speculating about that.
Yeah.
We're like, I bet K-Dog was asking drivers about their
How many RPMs are you hitting when you come around?
What's the torque on this?
Yeah,
those kinds of things. And the mechanic's like, come back here. So I was actually back in the pits under the cars,
Sweet.
poking around.
But stuff like
adding
that.
shit, subtracting shit.
Yeah. I bet you could pull more horse if you just if you tweak this a little bit, start fucking with their engines. This son of a bitch, by the way, truly an asshole. He comes in today and I'm not wearing the bracelet. We all had bracelets to get in there, and he's like, did you cut your bracelet off? I was like, yeah. I don't know if you guys tried.
Yeah, you can't pull it back off.
You can't pull it back off.
Right.
And Beth tightened mine like,
Yes, dude.
I was like, no, back it off. I like my bracelets loose.
Oh, dude.
I need a little give.
Russ did the same thing to me. He tightened it up and it can't back off. So my hand was like throbbing. It was like big and pink and red and about to explode.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, ask K-Dog what he did with his bracelet.
Yeah.
geez, here we go.
The trick was to get them wet, and then you could twist them up real tight, and then you could actually pull back that metal clip or the plastic clip. They come right off.
Son of a
He dissected this thing and found that there's metal pins in there that are clamped down on it. So then if you soaked it in water and twisted it real tight, it was like, of course, K-Dog figured that
I gotta
out.
be honest.
Yeah.
though.
The water is the key to it
Let me
all.
ask you this. Why don't you just clip the thing off like every other American?
It's Canadian.
You know what, dude? I hate to admit it, and I think that sounds like a good idea. Now that I know I can do it, I'd rather have it almost sustain as
You
a
know, like
wrist.
keep it as a wearable bracelet.
No, but
He's going to wear it as jewelry.
Yeah.
It's a memento of the occasion,
I
so
like
I
it.
wanted it intact. That's the
Gotcha.
only reason why
I
I
kind
did
of
it.
agree. I kind of like it better than the idea of clipping it right here. I might do that now,
Yeah.
Okay.
but whatever.
I just cut mine off.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Or maybe you know what? I'll say
You're
say
gonna
this.
soak it.
No,
You're gonna
I'll say
soak it.
this. I'll say this. I won't because I'm too lazy. So I'm going to cut it off when I get home, but I want to.
Yeah.
I want to be K-Dog.
I like his thought process, and I wish I would do it. I know I won't,
Yeah.
but
Well, let's just do it during the break then.
Yeah. Have K-Dog do it for you. He can give you a hand.
Ooh,
with
it'll
that.
be
No,
he's first time washing his hands in days. He can't remember
Yeah.
the last time he washed his hands. Is that,
yeah,
isn't that true?
I did. I made that proclamation to Jelsky, I believe, and your wife at the same time or something.
Yeah.
But I made a
They were
proclamation.
very impressed, both of them.
Yeah. And Beth at one point said he stinks like someone who hasn't showered in
he
days.
stank so bad today. It was 90 degrees. We're all standing out there. Thank God for the shade and a little bit of breeze here and there.
Yeah.
But my man is just standing there, just in sweltering heat. And then he tells us that he pissed himself last night and didn't
what are you gonna
shower
do?
or anything. What is that all about, man?
I think what actually happened is that, and for one, by the way, I do not remember the last time I purposely washed my hands. Now I go in the shower so I get rinsed, but I don't actually remember when I just put my hands under water and soap necessarily. But anyway, I digress. No, what had happened, I think the night before, was that I was up north, way up there, freaking wherever, up north Michigan.
Where were you, E? You went there.
Onaway.
Okay.
Onaway, Michigan, Black Lake, up in Onaway, Michigan. And I think what happened is at night, after the bar, I think I went to the bathroom outside the car, but kind of just went on my pants and didn't realize it, and then just slept in the pants. And then started driving down. When we left, it was me, my buddy, me, Chubbs, and my buddy Nick Redner. Like when we were driving down, I started realizing that I kind of smell.
Dude,
to be
you are
honest with
mentally retarded.
And
He is-
then I
He's just
started,
figuring this out now.
This is unbelievable.
and
to
I
me,
started
dude.
looking down. I go,
Yeah.
you know what, dude? My pants are kind of wet. Like, and I was like, dude, I think I pissed my pants last night, or at least pissed on my pants.
yeah.
In some
Happens.
level,
How did I
there,
get
there
here?
was urine on
Yeah.
my pants, and I drove all the way home from Onaway to Holly in those pants, and I'm wearing
Yeah.
the same boxers right now without changing.
Nice.
And over them, just for the full picture, you're wearing what, baby Stewie flannel pajama pants.
It's cold down here in the freaking basement, dude, and I didn't plan on wearing. Normally, if I wear my pajama pants, of course, I have the tearaways, so it doesn't look as horrible.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look tacky.
no,
with
it looks,
the tearaways
it
on.
looks terrible. No, it does. What'd you guys think of the racing itself?
It was cool. That VIP section was at a really neat part of the race where you saw guys whipping around a really cool turn and picking up speed and then going over the jump, or you
Yeah.
saw them taking this Joker lap, which was the cut through
Shortcut. I think it's shaved. They said like 4 seconds.
4 or 5 seconds off.
Yeah.
And every car had to do it once every race. And so
or
they
I think
could- they could
was
pick.
it you had to, or I think it was like you only could do it once because that was a strategy.
No,
right?
no, you had to. And
You-
why
right.
wouldn't you?
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
It
Okay,
shaves-
yeah.
But it's a strategy thing. Some people chose
Some
to do
right
it
off the
first
bat,
lap.
and others waited till the third, whatever. But it was cool because that would then cut off guys who were taking it the long way, and then they'd kind of race over this jump. But
Yeah.
I thought it was neat, man. I don't know anything about it, but
Yeah.
That was the thing I was
I
going
was
to.
impressed.
That was the thing I was going to say. Like, I've been a big auto racing. I've gone to several auto racing events. Obviously, NASCAR for 15 years now, or whatever. But when I was watching, I did notice that it did seem like you really got into it. Like, it seemed like once they really started going over those jumps,
Hell
it seemed
yeah.
like you like legitimately seemed like you were into it and not just kind of, this is kind of fun.
That was cool. My favorite thing, though, I have to admit, the damn stunt plane.
Oh,
They had one of these Red Bull Air Force dudes stunt plane. I guess he was one that did the air races. DTRBM was telling me he was one of their primetime pilots that does that. This guy was doing shit with that plane that
didn't seem possible.
No, just flipping it over, then flipping it back. It just
suspending it straight up and down.
Yeah, so
That's
you're
just
flying it like
hovering.
the propeller's like a helicopter at that point, just hovering, then dropping straight into a nosedive. Like, how is this even physically possible?
And just doing barrel roll after barrel roll. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
the most amazing thing I saw all day.
Well, what's awesome about and they do it. They've been doing it the last 2 years, I guess, with the race on Belle Isle too, with the Indy race they do. But like, I really, really like it being on Belle Isle. And like, even when you talk about that plane, I think what's cool about it is the plane was awesome, but the setting with freaking being on Belle Isle and seeing the Rensen and stuff like that, just I think adds to it. As
the
opposed
water, really cool.
As opposed to if it just had MIS again. Like, I love MIS, but for stuff like this, it's cool to have it be a different setting.
I agree. It's and it's good to have shit in the city too. It's fun to go down there for events.
Which, by the way, after the race, I think I told you guys, like, I went with my buddy. He had turned out randomly. My one buddy had some friends that were chilling on the beach. I know how you said you went there like last weekend or 2 weekends ago. Dude, that place has a really good feel right now, dude. You are not wrong, dude.
No, I know.
Like,
it was impressive.
The beach was packed, and it was like there was food carts there, and it was like I didn't feel weird. I didn't feel like I mean, it had a really solid feel on that island, dude.
Yeah.
Like, totally different than what it would have been about 4 years ago, maybe 3. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was surprised when I went. I thought it was really cool, but it was a lot of fun. If you haven't done something like that, I thought it was really impressive the way they did it up, and hopefully everybody had as good a time as we did.
Yeah, we had fun meeting some listeners down there too. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's always fun. As you mentioned, Chris Sajelski was there with Mike, and we saw Dave Helm,
the lawyer.
Yep, Ron showed up. Middich, we saw Middich out there.
Dude, plus me and Mike said we had several
cool.
people on the bus, dude. Like, I ran into a listener on the bus that was just there, and you ran into a few. That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, some of our fine Canadian listeners.
Nice.
So it was very cool seeing everybody, and everybody had a good time. DTRBM, we can't thank him enough too for making that connection with Red Bull for us. Dan, the Red Bull man, that was very, very cool, and a lot of fun. Even though tried to be as big of a wrecking ball as he could be.
What an asshole! Number one, okay.
I know, dude. I get it. I if I could do anything over, I would never have walked over there when I saw you guys talking to somebody. But I just didn't know.
Jay, the floor is yours, counsel.
Well, this happens after I hear that he made Chris Stajelski wait 4 hours.
I did not make her wait 4
for
hours.
her tickets, and then was a no-show.
That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. That is some bullshit.
This is an advertiser on our podcast.
That is some bullshit.
Wait, you're hold on. Not only did you stand her up, but now you're calling her a liar and yelling, that is some bullshit.
Yes.
You are calling Chris Stajelski a bullshitter and liar. And he's running to get his phone now.
I can look at my fucking records. We knew we were going to give her tickets. So I reached out to her and said, hey, what would work for you? And then I saw that it seemed like she was over on that kind of the Easter side.
Dude, you don't have to go through the whole thing, but here's the deal. She waited around Royal Oak because E promised he would be there within a time frame. He wasn't. So she called him, and he's like, I can make it over, but I'm in Wixom right now.
Are you trying to destroy this show? Are you trying to destroy this show?
Sabotage, sir.
This seems like a sabotage mission.
I can't even sit down. I'm so pissed. That's bullshit. No offense. Good for you, Jelski. She's cool. I had a blast with her today. But the idea that I stood her up, this is what I told her. At one point, I said, hey, I'm going to be in Royal Oak from probably about 6 to 8 doing some stuff at the Starbucks. If you want to meet me.
But you weren't, dude.
No, and then 10 minutes later, I said, hey, you know what? It's going to be 7 to 9, not 6 to 8. She never told me a specific time she was going to be there. I gave a 2-hour time frame where I was going to be there.
And then she called you and was like, hey, I've been here, 2 hours already. Are you going to be here? And you were like, well, I'm in Wixom. I can be there.
For being there for 2 hours, not mine. I didn't tell her to get there at 5. I told her to get there at 7 to 9.
You told her 6 originally.
Okay, but 10 minutes after that, I changed it.
So after this story, I hear, and Chris is like frustrated. She's like,
that's bullshit.
Whatever happened,
Okay.
E, the customer is always right. Okay,
Yeah,
so Krista's
E.
upset, so we're upset.
Very.
Okay,
Whatever, man.
we want her to have a positive experience through this whole thing. That's the goal.
I don't even care.
So I don't
anymore.
care about your technicalities, when you called and where you were, whether it was Wixom or Novi.
That's
I don't give a
bullshit.
shit.
That's
Krista's
bullshit.
upset. I'm upset.
It's fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, get him.
So
Whatever.
on the tail of that, then Mike and I have the pleasure to meet another Red Bull representative,
now this I'm
and we're talking to her.
I have no.
Just in a real straight way. Just hey, really great to be involved with this and this and that.
There's a key difference when you meet someone who you know is a listener and understands inside jokes, inside conversation, and
Understands fuck face over here.
yes, versus someone who's unfamiliar with any aspect of the show but wants to just say, hey, I wanted to meet you guys. I know you've been involved with our company here. We wanted to thank you for coming out. And so Jay and I are having one of those conversations.
Mutual pleasantries.
Yeah.
And fuckface walks over and goes, "Who's this?" Just in a fucking
I know.
"Who's this who wants to meet my ass, my stank ass?"
I
sort
know.
of deal.
I know.
And then we're like, huh.
Yeah.
And then,
Big E.
it's no sooner did we introduce Big E that said Red Bull representative kind of said, "Okay, well, it's great to meet you guys. Good
Yeah,
luck to
bye."
you," and sauntered off. And I was like, what a bunch of assholes.
He did tell her he liked the cranberry Red Bull.
That's right. He went into
flavor.
big time detail. Yes, dude, he did. And she was, yes, they made small talk about the flavor cranberry.
Yeah.
He forced her into that.
Yeah.
God damn it, E! God damn you!
I would say when I saw you guys.
You forced her into pleasantry about a fucking flavor.
Of a drink she sells.
She's very familiar with it. Very familiar.
I would give anything. I would. Out of all the day, I don't feel.
Oh God, it was douche chilling.
I'd give anything at this point to take that. Realize that I don't know why I walked over. I don't even remember the side. I really don't even remember why.
Who's this? Fuck.
Yeah, I think Jay just went, yeah, this is Big E. He's, yeah. and I think E said, yeah, my dad probably wishes I was dead. She's just like,
dude, I forgot. I tried to
why
suppress this.
Why did
That's
you remind him
right.
of that? Why did you remind
that
him
was
of
like
that?
the first thing out of his mouth. My dad probably wishes I was dead. And we're
Yes,
just like,
then
yeah.
where did it go then?
That's
I was
where it
trying to
ended.
like
That's where it
totally.
ended.
You and I went, like you would do to your retarded child.
Yeah.
We just went, this is the boss of the representative we've been dealing with Red Bull. You should be polite to her. And he went, I like the cranberry flavor.
That's right.
Like,
That's
next
how
thing
it
out of his
went.
mouth. It was like,
Yes. He was like,
I like the cranberry
oh, you
flavor.
want to talk business? Well, I like cranberry. God damn you! You son of a bitch!
I like the cranberry flavor the best. It's really good and fruity.
Actually, I decided it
She's
tastes
like,
like.
oh,
it tastes
hey,
like
yeah,
good,
so do
no.
I enjoy that as well. Okay, nice to meet you guys.
I hate to say what I actually said.
we
because
were
I'm-
literally in the moment, like, well, yeah, it'd be good to team up on some stuff in the future.
That was going to be the next phrase out of my mouth.
and then here comes this.
Who's this?
Who's this? Who's this?
God damn it.
Oh man, this is
Fuck.
And you can't just go, he's our retard, because that doesn't sound PC enough.
Yeah.
You can't go, this is our fuck face. None of that works either. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, this
You
is
just have to let it play out.
and you'll eventually come around. And best case scenario is you get to,
I like the cranberry flavor the best.
It probably was the best case scenario. Honestly, of all the things that could have come out of his mouth.
on the heels of,
I bet my dad wishes I was dead.
So he could
you
be
know,
retired.
yeah, I mean, at least he had a positive thing to say about their product. I suppose that's a good, right? That's a win.
Didn't he babble about his dad a little bit though?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally went into detail
about
that.
how your brother and sister are way better than you.
Yeah.
And this and that. I'm just
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Well, at that point, I was trying to save it by going, because she said, well, like to a special needs
Yeah.
child, well, are you having fun on your time away from the house or wherever they keep you? And he was like, yeah, they think my parents came yesterday. And I'm thinking, oh God, she's going to think whatever created this is going to be
Yes.
like worse. This is
Yeah.
like, the best they could come up with was this. And holy shit, what wrecking ball was through here yesterday this coming and so at that point it's like, believe it or not, his parents are like really normal, like educated, well-to-do people. And it was like, yeah, my brother does well too. He graduated from Michigan, and my sister does good too. She doesn't even live at home anymore. He actually said that. She moved out of my parents' house. Like, that's good.
Oh.
And then that's where it came on the heels of, my dad probably wishes I was dead. And it was like, ha, 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 ha.
It was good to meet you.
Yeah, well, see you later. We'll finish that conversation. I never saw her again.
No.
So, yeah.
So that's done. It was a good run.
Yeah, we had fun. So I'm actually surprised it lasted as long as it did, to be honest with you.
Frankly.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you to the fine folks at Red Bull.
Yes.
Please do not let E represent the entire Detroit cast. He's one small accident involved in this. We love him for different reasons than you would. But yeah, it was.
He's an acquired taste.
He is.
Hey, but talking about cars, speaking of them, starting right now and running through Friday, July 31st.
I want a Fiesta now.
Dude, I want one of those Fiestas though.
Yeah.
I don't want just one of the normal Fiestas.
Yeah.
Holy
shit.
Damn, those things were like go-karts, dude. Those were just sick. Engine in the back. Yeah, it was amazing, like how maneuverable and shit, just crazy fast.
Yeah.
Those starts. Starting right now and running through Friday, July 31st, you can save an additional $500 on every pre-owned vehicle at Zott Ford in Halley. It's super simple. Go to ZottFord.com, search their pre-owned inventory, select the vehicle you want to buy, subtract $500 off the already low internet price. That's exactly what you pay. It's only for the TDC family, and this is only good until Friday, July 31st. If you snooze, you lose.
Dare I say a big show today? We got a lot to get to. We got Vegas went up in flames, part of it anyways,
God,
over the weekend.
Nuts,
Did you see that?
Yes.
Obama in his birthland, or well, some would argue.
Well,
Whatever. He was out in Kenya this weekend. Hulk Hogan had a rough weekend. Eminem, we'll get to him a little bit later. We got some the train wreck gunman, a little more on him. But first up, Bobby Brown. Remember we talked to Ian Halperin
a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, a week or two ago. Bobby Christina Brown passed away today.
Yep, not unexpected. She was in hospice for quite a while, a few weeks at least.
Yeah.
And massive brain injury, I'm sure. But
yeah, and they knew that wasn't going to get any better. Yeah. So the family, 22 years old, the family put out a statement, just said Bobby Christina Brown passed away Sunday, July 26th, surrounded by her family. She is finally at peace in the arms of God. We want to again thank everyone for their tremendous amount of love and support during these last few months. Anyway, so yeah.
That is so tragic, man. 22 years old.
Yeah.
That's so short.
Yeah.
I really get a sense of that with my kids who, I've got one who's about to turn 14. It's like, dude, before I know it, he's going to be 21, It's just such a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful.
Well, when you look at where your kids are at 14 versus where she was.
Oh, I know.
The deck is so stacked against her. And we didn't dive too much into that into Ian's book, but it sounds like that started that relationship with drugs and the extravagance.
13, 14, right?
12, 13, 14, who knows, but somewhere around there. And you just look at the upbringing before that, even before she would have been introduced. That's about as soon as you can be introduced to that stuff. I mean, in reality, you're not going to have a 9-year-old doing that stuff. But her parents were such a train wreck at that point. And Whitney way more than Bobby Brown. Bobby kind of gets labeled as the bad boy in that whole thing, but he
was more physical, lashing out at shit, reporters and all that during that. But she was big time addict.
Yeah, huge
crack
addict.
is whack.
Yeah, and sounds like she was doing a lot of the crack is whack and everything else. So, yeah, it's a terrible story, man. It really is. And but did she get the worst characteristics of both parents?
I'm telling you.
Seriously, how do you have Whitney Houston as a mom and
and then you end up looking just like Bobby Brown?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, Whitney Houston.
In the teeth and everything.
You look at Whitney, she's one of the most beautiful women ever. She is gorgeous. And then you look at, I speak ill, whatever.
Speaking of the dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you see those sometimes where it's like, oh, the kid they're gonna have will be stunning, and then it's like, ooh, oh, you can get the opposite of that too.
No, I have a daughter who's an example of that. She looks just like me.
No, she doesn't. She's got enough gab in her.
Hopefully, carry her through.
Oh yeah, dude, sweet pie. Are you kidding me? She's adorable. You think she's got too much J in her?
Whoa, what's going on here,
dude?
Look at Whitney. Yeah, look at Whitney compared to her.
Yeah. There's a hint of her in there, but she the daughter definitely got Bobby's nose, Bobby's teeth.
It's the teeth, man.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a tough
one's
one.
just missing.
Yeah.
I mean, just fill one in.
Do you not have enough money to fill that in? You really can't just
I guess you look at it like it's just a classic characteristic, right? And go with it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't think
it worked
so.
for Strahan. I don't know, for a chick though.
A guy though.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of Bobby going on.
Yeah, there is.
Oh. Wow, when you look at it, it's even more obvious when you look at it like you just did there, back to like next to each other.
Anyway, so yeah, unfortunate, but we knew that was coming. As Jay mentioned, they did all those. They flew out to Chicago to see some brain specialists because Bobby really had to be convinced he was not going to take her off those machines.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Look, listen, this is going to literally drain every penny you have, and there's zero hope." And I don't think it had much to do with the money. I think it was just like, dude, you're not doing her any favors. She ain't coming back from this. So anyway, now the story that really broke, what was it? Towards the end of the show, when we were here Thursday night, the guy that went into the theater and opened fire. What a piece of shit,
Louisiana,
man. Yeah. Were you as I was like, okay, what Muslim extremist is this going to be?
No, I kind of figured it was probably some dipshit white guy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down in Louisiana. I don't know why, but maybe just the location of it. Like,
Yeah, I guess, you know what? That's probably true because that doesn't fit the MO.
If it happened on the East Coast, I'd be like, okay.
Or if it happened at a police station or some sort of military.
Yeah.
Seems to be the way, but this guy John Hauser, there's more coming out on him. He's the guy that killed 2, injured 9 more in the screening of Trainwreck.
Honestly, how do you only kill 2 in that situation?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, and I think those 2 were sitting in front of him, the 2 women, and I think it was just execution style.
So he sat in a seat,
sat through 20 minutes of previews and everything.
Dude.
Yeah, didn't even have the common courtesy to let him watch the movie. And then
which apparently was a good movie, right?
Yeah, I went and saw it.
Did you? What did you think?
I thought it was good.
Okay,
I thought it was good.
I saw it.
Which was better? I understand you had a double feature that night.
Boy.
Well,
Trainwreck or what was it?
Southpaw.
Dude.
What?
2 totally different movies.
The problem is the comedy versus the other thing, but I have a hard time. I know Southpaw, I guess, looks okay. I have a hard time believing Trainwreck wasn't better. I know it's hard to because they're not really the same to compare. But.
They were both watchable and good.
Okay.
I don't know. I maybe this is I'm just getting old, but I feel like I've seen these movies made before.
Well,
like seriously,
yeah,
both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it when it was Rocky the first time through, and the comedy. It's told from a different perspective. Sort of Amy Schumer is playing the guy basically, who's kind of a player and doesn't give a fuck to settle down. But we've seen that role play out. You know, yeah, you know, in a way. So it's like, yeah, it's good. It'll hold it's funny and it'll be a big hit, I'm sure.
Right.
But yeah, the trick was we went and this was planned. I admit.
Yeah, boy.
I'm
gonna have to turn you in, Mike. This is.
I know.
Yeah, this. Wow. Are you suggesting, Jay?
Well,
there was saw 2 shows and maybe didn't pay for both shows.
That is what I'm suggesting. That's what Mike's about to explain.
Well, here's what happened.
Oh boy.
Beth wanted to go see Southpaw, and I
didn't want to pay for it.
I wanted to go see Trainwreck because it came so highly recommended from E, and I knew it was going to be a big movie. So I start looking up movie times, and she says, "Can we go to a double feature? Can we go to one and then just sneak into the theater next door?"
That's where you say, "No, we're not doing."
Yeah, that's illegal, Beth.
Well, I mean, that's what I would have normally thought. I'll tell you why I wasn't more aggressive and holding out on that in a minute. But so I look at the times and it's like, okay, Trainwreck's at 8, and then there's a showing at 10 of Southpaw. Otherwise, if we would have done it the other way around and saw Southpaw first, we would have had to wait an hour for the other one to start. So it just made perfect sense.
Right.
Literally, the credits are rolling on one as the previews are starting on the other. And it was like 2 full movies with very, very few previews in between. I mean, it was unbelievable how well it worked out.
Right.
Now, normally that goes against everything I believe in. I feel like, and I don't know what the tally did on Southpaw. We should honestly credit them another $18 on whatever their take was for the weekend, because I feel like I owe them that. But I was watching a story on one of the news programs over the weekend, and they were talking about the guy, John Hauser, that went into the theater and opened fire.
Right.
And they were talking about why this is so bad. And it's because the theater is a safe zone. It's where families go to relax and get away. And what's more all-American than going to the theater and watching a good movie with the family, and you feel safe there. What's more all-American than going to see a movie and then sneaking into the theater next door to what, make it a double feature?
What?
I swear
They
to
said
God,
that?
they
Dude,
said
honestly, I've never done that ever.
Me either. Even as a kid,
Is this your first time doing that?
I think I've done it with Beth one other time, but it was like halfway through a movie. We just kind of went in and saw
The common
the last-
denominator is Beth.
I don't remember what
but I
did.
never did it as a kid. I never snuck into theaters. I never.
You knew it was wrong.
I did know it was wrong. But then it felt like I got the green light when I saw that story this weekend. Was like, what's more all-American than going in to see a movie and then when it ends, sneaking into another theater? It's just the American way. And I was like, I guess a lot of people do this.
I've
It's
done
not
it
that
once.
big a deal.
I've done it once. I don't remember what the movies were. But
Criminal.
I did do it one time
Yeah.
with Chubbs, actually, I believe.
Ooh.
Oh, you and Chubbs.
Who was the bad influence? You or Chubbs?
I think it was Chubbs. Look at, yes, I remember it because his brother, I think, had done it with him one time. So he's like, oh, we should do this. I was like, yeah, why not? And I don't remember what we saw, though. I really think it was him. He doesn't listen.
So, Jay,
it doesn't matter.
you and Sweet Pie are spending a Saturday afternoon together. You go see Minions again because she wants to see it again. And then as soon as it's over, she realizes that Pixels is playing right next door. And she goes, Dad, why don't we just go in and see if it's any good?
No,
Why?
because we
It's the
didn't pay
American
for
way.
it. It's not. That's bullshit.
My
I wouldn't.
God.
You know what? We'd be seeing Pixels because I'm not going to see Minions again. I'm not
Yeah.
going to pay for that twice.
Okay.
So that
Anyway.
wouldn't happen, Mike.
Well, I feel sort of guilty about it now because you're giving me shit, but
And now you just proclaimed on a public forum that you broke the law. So I'm assuming there'll be some sort of
admittedly
authorities coming at some point.
they want their $9
Right.
a person back.
Of course, you didn't say where you went, I guess. So.
Shocking.
Really? Is that shocking?
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm
I'm
surprised you do
outraged.
that.
Young kids do it all the time.
You're not a young kid,
Yeah,
42-year-old man.
that's definitely a boys will be boys, Jay. I
Yeah,
believe.
boys will be boys, especially when they have bad influenced girlfriends.
Yeah, Beth is kind of a badass, isn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't care. Whatever.
Speaking of badasses, hey, you looking to buy or sell your own Fady Manor? If so, call Krista Jelski, a regular badass herself of Remax Suburban. Whether you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or both, she will hook you up with all your real estate needs. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. She will not lie to you.
She won't.
No, she's a truthful woman.
Well, I wonder what she would
That's
do.
up for debate, but whatever.
I wonder what Jelski would do if John Hauser called her and wanted to sell his house. Did you see what he did?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit. He wanted to he was
Poured
facing
cement
eviction.
and shit.
Yeah,
down the drains.
he's getting evicted, so he's one of these guys that's gonna do everything he can to make sure no one else can have it either. So yeah, as Jay said, he poured concrete down the drains, cemented the fuse box shut.
Jesus.
He splattered paint and human shit all over the walls. The new owners
What did
found
I
it
need for?
I could see you doing that.
No, I wouldn't do this.
maybe on accident, just lazily
Would,
shit all over the walls.
If this guy called her, would he still get the free house cleaning?
I don't know. I don't know. That'd be an expensive house cleaning.
She told me about a tough one today that
Did
she
she?
actually had to pay for. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
Like,
cut-
can you say it or no? Should she wait?
no, I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was that big a deal. I think she had someone that the cleaning person was allergic to cats, and
Yeah,
the
but-
homeowner had like 8 cats.
The end bill surprised me, but I don't want to
Oh,
give
yeah.
people the
Yeah.
idea that everyone can just go and
Yeah. Be an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah. Well,
gotcha.
throw a gel ski.
I
Yeah.
know. I gotcha.
So anyway, he had booby trapped the house. The gas starter tube in the fireplace was twisted out and ignited.
Jesus
The
fuck.
logs were removed. So obviously an electronic
Trying to blow the place
blow
up.
the house up.
What
Yeah,
a-
he was hoping the house would catch on fire, said Norman Bone, Mr. Bone,
God.
who had bought the house for his daughter. The only part of the home spared from ruin was a closet where his estranged wife's wedding dress was hanging up.
Oh, what a
How
weirdo.
creepy is that?
Yes.
What a
that is
weirdo.
creepy shit.
Trash the whole house except this one closet where her dress is hanging up.
What? Oh, Jesus. Did he put that? Do you think he wore that? I wonder if he wore that dress around.
Maybe.
Don't
Who
you
knows?
think you could see that?
Um,
Look, is this him?
so
Dog?
yeah, that's him. That's the guy that opened fire in the theater.
Oh, no. But what are we talking about?
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck.
Where did I lose you?
He didn't bring his computer today, and so he was like, "I'm gonna pay attention the whole show."
Yeah.
he declared,
Yeah,
and now he doesn't know where we are.
yeah.
We were
He's
talking-
like, "Wait,
was
if
this hard
that's
to
the-
follow? Are you on
No,
point with where we
that's
are?
the theater shooter. Why are we talking about a house?"
Where did we lose you?
so I thought that this was a separate story.
No.
No.
So you connect it. Go ahead and connect it factually.
So this guy
He's the theater
shot the
shooter.
people and fucked his house up. Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of giving some backstory on what this dude is all about.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. So the guy, the neighbor, Mr. Bone, if you will, knew him as a church-going
Of course.
neighbor, and then he'd grown into something known by neighbors and colleagues as an angry provocateur. Police say his anger
What?
culminated in the what?
A provocateur?
Yeah.
What is that?
Somebody who provocates things.
I know, but
One who provocates.
I understand that, but the idea
Provocateur.
it just
Yes.
seems like a very odd phrasing that neighbors would describe him as that.
He's an
Did the na-
angry provocateur.
did the
It's a
neighbors
bit
use-
dramatic. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Well,
But I kind of
don't know.
like it.
I don't know
like,
if it's worth slamming on the brakes for. I
No.
mean,
I like it. I just don't believe that these neighbors use that phrasing. I don't believe that they went to the neighbors and they said, "Oh, he was a religious man," and then he kind of slightly turned into a angry provocateur.
well, yeah. If he's
If they're describing all these different means with which he's angry
and getting aggressive.
yeah,
Okay.
then the author, the writer, would
Yeah.
sum it up as an angry provocateur.
Yes. Thank you. Well said. Police say his anger culminated in the theater, the Grand 16 Theater in Lafayette, Louisiana, leaving 2 women dead, 9 other people hurt. Since the 90s, this guy had built a reputation as an oddball. He regularly appeared on a local TV show, appearing opposite a Democrat. He was the hardcore right winger.
Oh boy.
This as a radical Republican rallying against women in the workplace and calling for violence against abortion clinics.
Oh
But-
boy.
For them on some local shit station,
Yeah.
it's like people are gonna call and want to scream at this guy.
Yeah, he
and so,
probably loves screaming back, right?
hence the angry provocateur.
Sort of like the public access shit we used to do up in East Lansing.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
same sort of shit.
Anything that will kind of rile up the hornet's nest,
Yep.
if you will. So he made all kinds of wild accusations. He could really make the phone rings or the phones ring. Yet he had a dark side that went way beyond talk. In '89, he was accused of hiring someone to burn down a Columbus law office. Yeah, he's a weird one. He's got degrees in accounting and law, but never took the bar. Who would do that? Is that just to have the background to say I'm?
Dude, who knows? He's nuts.
Yeah. But he's obviously a smart guy. He's clearly not a dumb person. He owned and operated a couple nightclubs.
What?
Yeah, and he got in trouble for the same thing that I would get in trouble for if I owned nightclubs.
Oh boy. Yeah.
He was serving minors like crazy. And they finally pulled his liquor license after 5 times being charged and convicted of selling to minors in the same year.
Jeez.
So
That's
he couldn't stop.
Just found it so lucrative.
well, that's the thing. That's at that point. What that was his probably mindset, right? Just fucking who cares? I'll just sell it. I'll make more money this way. I'll pay the fines off anyway.
And that's why if you've seen pictures or stories about him this weekend, he's got him standing there in the background. There's a building with a swastika. Have you seen that
No,
image?
I haven't.
If you watch any stories on him, you'll see that people are like, oh, he supported the swastika, just the shitty media, the way they do things. And that was basically when the mayor and city council took his liquor license
He was
from
calling them Nazis.
basically, yeah, that they can do and say whatever they want and fuck the law. So I don't know what leg he was trying to stand on by claiming, you know, that 5 times. Yeah, there's the sign he was hanging up.
That looks like a really nice club, by the way.
Welcome to, what's it say? Like
Lagrange. I think
Lagrange.
that was the name of the bar.
And then he has a swastika.
Yeah.
Nice, looking
Again,
club.
Angry Provocateur.
No, is that like the name of the city? Like he's
Yeah.
trying to say like, yeah, welcome to our city where Nazis rule here. They won't even let me sell to minors.
Yeah. He said he was completely against the Nazi philosophy. This is what he said to a newspaper. But he chose the symbol because it represents a government's ability to do what it wants. The Nazis, they did what they damn well pleased. So that's the story behind that. It was around 2007 that the former city mayor lost touch with this Hauser guy. They had a falling out then after partnering on a project to flip a house.
Yeah, boy. Wait, what?
He refused to move his belongings after Hardin bought him out. So the mayor buys this guy out and he refuses to move his belongings.
Jesus
He-
Christ.
He was odd. He was pretty even keeled until you disagreed with him or made him mad. Then he became your sworn enemy. One of those dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Jesus.
In April 2008, his wife, his daughter, and others filed court papers seeking temporary protective order against him, saying he had perpetuated various acts of family violence, had a history of manic depression and bipolar disorder. Records show he was vehemently opposed to the upcoming marriage of his daughter. She was going to marry, she's 23 and was going to marry a 26-year-old, and he thought it was way too young. It's absolutely way too young. And so he was having none of it. And they ended up putting him in a fucking psych ward in a mental hospital. And he's like, as soon as I get out, I'm stopping this wedding. I forbid it. And then people lost touch with him. His family is like, yeah, we haven't seen the guy in years. He showed up like a month ago wanting money to his brother who hadn't seen him in a decade.
Wow.
And he's like, I gave him some money. He wouldn't say how much. I always wonder when they do that. It's like, did you give him
Probably.
$50 or a couple grand? What-
Just the amount that gun cost.
Maybe. They said he shouldn't have been able to get a gun, whether he obtained it illegally or what. But then, yeah, all of a sudden, imagine that. Like, this dude shows up for the first time in 10 years, takes a few bucks, and a month later, he's shooting up a movie theater. And now that you got news crews at your house going, what did you see? And they're like, dude, we haven't even had talk. Like, we haven't talked to this guy in forever. You kidding me? He showed up for 5 minutes wanting money.
Fucking nutbag. They're just
Yeah.
walking amongst us.
They are. And maybe they shouldn't be. Although we don't have mental facilities anymore.
Right.
You know, they closed those down. And so those people are just kind of poured into the mainstream now. And, you know,
Yeah, they should have killed them all before they let them out.
What are you looking
Yeah.
at me for?
well, I'm not saying you'd go there. You'd be a first balloter, but, you know, it's a
I
few
don't know, but you
days in there.
both looked at me when
No.
you said that.
It's an enormous problem. It really is.
Yeah.
Because they literally are walking amongst us.
Yeah.
And then we're all surprised when shit like this happens.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I know that for a lot of, you know, if you go way back in time, people like just drug addicts and alcoholics would get thrown into those places, mental patients.
Yeah.
And so the places were flooded with people that were like, I think they found that like majority of those people didn't have any business being in a mental hospital. Like they were just, and you could have family members just commit you.
Yeah.
Like your family
Right,
could
wasn't it
just go,
like- yeah.
yeah, we're done with Big E. He needs to be committed. And,
Throw you in
and
there,
that was
give
for
you a
life.
lobotomy, you're done.
Yeah. And that's for life. You just go there and that's where you are now.
This is my home now.
What am
he
I
would
doing here?
definitely.
Oh,
You
dude.
rewind 100 years,
Oh, yeah.
he wouldn't be in the general population.
No, absolutely not. And now,
God bless America, I
In
guess.
some attic of some crazy mental hospital,
just shit in his pants.
whacking off on
Yeah.
other tenants.
Oh, be a rough life for you, E.
I know.
Thank God you were born where and when you were.
I think about it every day.
And then we got a guy who should absolutely be in one of those facilities instead. Nah, he's walking amongst us. He's hanging out in Phoenix.
Oh, dude, this is a bad one. Oh, this is a bad one.
I know. He belongs in one of those hospitals. He should be
Ugh.
like, sitting right next to E, just whacking off all day
wait,
long.
wait.
You and this guy would do
Please.
well together.
You son of a bitch.
Paul,
What are you,
move over.
Well, this
what are
guy's
you about to
only
lump
going to
me
be able
in?
to use his right hand, though.
That's true.
What are you about to lump me into?
Listen to this guy.
Well, he alleged, now this is alleged. We don't know all the facts yet. Someone could have come in and done this to him. decapitated a woman and 2 dogs before cutting off his own arm and gouging out his eye.
Why are you putting me in that category?
I'm just saying, crazy is as crazy does. I mean, I could see you both ending up in a hospital together, and maybe, who knows?
Okay.
Why the Proops?
Yeah,
You
what
know?
did the Proops
Leave
have
the
to do with
Proops
this?
alone.
Poor Proops. The neighbor, George Looney, of course, fitting, right? Knocked on the door of the apartment in Arizona on Saturday to check on this 43-year-old guy who was the suspect.
Oh.
It sounds like this guy was a nut job, and so the neighbor would go over there once a day and just like, oh, let's see how the retards are doing.
Yeah.
And he went in there, and this guy
Make sure they haven't killed each other or anything.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Who knew? And so he knocks on the door. Mr. Looney goes over there and knocks on the door, and that's what he's met with. This guy opens the door. He's butt naked, and his left arm was severed at the elbow, and his left eyeball was missing.
Damn. What the fuck? How are you walking around with your left arm severed at the elbow?
I don't know. He said the apartment's walls were absolutely covered in blood. It looked like a massacre in her kitchen. Like every other day, I go and check on them. They are mentally ill. I want to go check on him. He answered the door. He was naked. There was blood everywhere. So I called the cops. The couple appeared to have met each other at a mental health facility.
Oh, boy.
Nice. Romantic.
Match made in heaven, right? Someone for everyone. Isn't that what they say?
How are you, like, how have you not lost so much blood that you're on the ground, you know, just
who knows?
sucking your last breath?
Maybe he doesn't have
cut
good
your
blood flow.
fucking arm off.
I don't know.
Get the man a tourniquet. Whoa.
Oh, well,
What?
It was probably time for her head to come off anyway.
Is that his head on her?
I was going to say, is that a guy or a girl?
Oh my God.
That's his head on her. Wait a second here.
That's his head with her hair.
Those are the same people, dude.
Is this the stitching marks from where he put the head back on?
This is the first head transplant.
Yes.
Our stories have merged.
Why does she have her titties on display? What are you doing?
That's the same person, isn't it?
Dude, actually,
Good dog. It is, right?
I think the titties aren't that bad.
Oh,
Would you? I mean, if she still had her head on.
Dude, you know what? This is literally the situation I had Saturday night. I don't know if I explained that to you.
No.
But Saturday night after I did the comedy, I went, dude, this up there was like, it was North Little Bars, you know, just dive bars. This was not a place we were going to meet girls. So there was some chick, there was 4 people in the whole fucking bar, and 2 of them were me and my buddy. And there was like some 50-year-old lady that kept telling my buddy that, like, I need to get my friend up here for your friend. Like, for some reason, my buddy was trying to hook me up with her friend. And she called her friend like 3 times. Like, you need to come out. There's this guy at the bar. And
Talking about you?
Yeah, we're referring to me and her friend. Like, this girl's trying to get her other
Sure.
old
We got
friend.
it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Dude, she comes up, dude, and she's hideous. One of the ugliest girls I've ever seen in my entire life.
Do you have an image?
No.
You just start laughing.
She's
What'd
all
you
of
do?
like 60 years old and butt ugly. Just fucking ugly.
How'd you handle that?
I
You went for it.
did
didn't you?
not do it. No, I even told my buddy that twice during the night. I even still said to myself, you know what, dude? Maybe you should just do it. I bet she'll blow out. And then I would look at her face again and go, I can't do it. That's how ugly.
What did her body look like?
I don't remember.
Was it worse than that? Like,
Her body was actually, yes, worse than this, but her face, I don't know how to explain it. It was just the ugliest person I've ever seen in person.
How bad is that for you, though, that someone took a look at you and went, she's
yes.
perfect. She's
Yeah.
perfect.
That's a good point.
called her out of the blue. Like, I know exactly who would match
Yeah,
with
this
dude.
guy is just hideous enough to like be a perfect fit for this.
Yeah, you're right. That's a very solid point. But I do remember making saying to myself, maybe just do it. And just going, and then I'd look at her face again and I go, I can't do it. I couldn't fucking do it.
She's
That's
literally like 60.
probably in that range.
Wow.
I wish he was there today. I wish I'd had him describe to you how ugly this girl was. She was fucking hideous. And apparently her 50-year-old friend wanted to set me up with her.
So how'd you dismiss it? You just
I don't actually remember.
There's 4 people in the bar. You just turn around and talk to the other one.
I think we just kept talking, but I don't exactly remember. You know, and then and Shub.
So you're okay with getting a disgusting hooker in Chicago who's basically homeless on the streets,
Right.
and paying
I
for
wasn't
it.
okay with that. Back on it.
And
I mean,
paying for it, and yet it's free. It walks in the door and it's willing, and that's somehow out of bounds.
you gotta one. I wasn't okay with that Chicago one, but two, you could make the argument at that point that I was a virgin still, so I was a little more like I'm not a virgin anymore. So
It's very discriminating now.
yeah.
I just wish I did have an image of her. I wish we had taken an image so you could see it. It was all I remember is that it was the ugliest. For me personally, I thought it was the ugliest person I've ever seen in person in real life.
Someone tried to set you up with them.
Yes,
They took one look at you, and that was the one.
apparently, because the friend of hers was actually kind of cool, and she was having some drinks, and she seemed pretty nice, but she worked hard to get her friend up there. She called her like 3 times or something, like, "Hey, you really need to come up here. There's this guy up
God.
here."
Brutal.
But yeah, dude, that is so the
This
same person.
Picture's freaking me out.
Yeah.
It's
So this is
freaking
the
me out.
victim then.
Talk about
This is
couples
the,
that,
this is the chick who got her head cut off by the other. Okay.
Well, looks like she got her head cut off twice.
Yeah. It's. I don't blame him honestly. That
for taking the head off that. It looked like it was due to come off.
yeah.
It really
I don't
does.
think those titties are that bad. I know you're saying why she put them on display, but if you really look at the titties, I don't think they're that bad.
Stop it.
I mean,
Look at is it a boob job? Because they don't look wrinkly to me. Like the rest of it looks like
no,
ass.
this looks pretty wrinkly in here. This is a
it's
disaster.
very leathered.
Yeah.
There's lots of sunshine.
Well, they live in
going on there,
Arizona,
right.
so they're
I just don't think they're that bad. But the face is hideous. Don't give me
Sort of
that's a
looks
guy.
like the chicken kingpin, that kind of deal. Leathered.
yeah, really jarred something loose, Tiger.
Yeah,
That lady.
yes.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good movie, man. I don't know if
Yeah,
do
Kingpin's
everyone
good.
like that as much. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't remember.
Awesome.
I just don't remember how it was received, but I know I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray alone in that
Mhm.
movie with his hair.
I love Bill
Holy
Murray.
shit.
He's
Talking
such
to the ball.
yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember what his name was.
Something McCracken.
McCracken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
You're right.
There she is.
Yeah, she was so gross.
Yeah. Eminem last week was on Sway's show on Sirius XM. He came in studio, and I don't know if Sway's on the Eminem Shade
The channel. Yeah, I don't know.
He might be
Shady 45 or whatever.
Shady, yeah, Shade 45.
But
But
anyway,
anyway-
used to be on MTV.
Yes, he did, and he can be rather annoying. But M's been on his show a few times, and Em just doesn't do that much stuff like that anymore. But he came on and
Last thing we saw him on was Public Access Monroe.
yeah, which is hilarious.
Yes, with Colbert.
Yeah. Oh, that was so cool. But yeah, he went in studio with them and busted out an 8-minute freestyle, literally off the top of his head. Which
is so nuts, dude.
Yeah. Have you heard any of it?
I haven't, but I wanted to. I obviously heard about him doing it, but
Yeah. Well, he laid into Donald Trump, Bill Cosby, Hillary Clinton, and the real problem,
of course,
Caitlyn Jenner.
right?
Oof.
Heaven
Oof.
forbid. As if Eminem's gonna give a
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. And thankfully he doesn't, although he does get a little apologetic towards the end. Like he makes a disclaimer at the end, like, hey, look, probably sensing that this shit's going to hit the fan, which he's totally accustomed to and fine with.
I went through the big Elton John thing, right?
Yeah, the big homo thing with Elton John. But yeah, he's basically in the end says, when you're doing a freestyle rap, you're just spitting whatever comes to the top of your head. That's the whole game. And you can't take that personally. It is what it is. And, you
Might
go
not be
somewhere
politically correct.
yeah, it's never going to be politically correct. And it's like, so you go there, believe me, it's nothing personal. Like, to each their own, whatever they want to do. I don't give a shit. But you want to hear some of it?
Yes.
He takes on Donald Trump and
Totally.
yeah, check it out.
Give me a damn good reason to not want to slip an Ambien in a cappuccino and try to have a threesome with Janet Reno. I'm fucked worse than Donald Trump on Lexapro in Mexico, across from a Texaco at McDonald's drunk. Broken out of gas, busted water pump, getting fondled up by Ronald, feeling him on his rump.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. And me and Alyssa Milano hump. We do. Bringing the horror to MCs like the aura of the Run DMC Fedora, Adidas and Diodorus, but I need at least 3 to 4 of those Rita Auras in a 4-seater Taurus. But tell him my face is the best seat in the house. I'll let him bleed in my mouth while I'm eating him out. It's disgusting.
Jesus.
Ooh. Heat-seeking missile duck. Demented sick. Hate and see who gives a fuck. I invented prick. And this is a true statement. I see the bitch in you, Caitlin. I keep the pistol tucked like Bruce Jenner's dick. No disrespect, though. Not at all. No pun intended. That took a lot of balls. Oh, and Azalea Banks, just want to tell you thanks. Now I got trailer skanks sending me ballpark franks and the mail is pranks. And Hot Pockets. Thanks a lot. Awful, I made Monopoly off misogyny, sodomy. How many chocolatey Jello pops could he possibly lace? Walking atrocity, no wonder you scoff at me. It's still obvious I'm as off-putting as Bill Cosby is. Treat women like property. Possessive, like a noun with an apostrophe. S's. I probably stalk broccoli. Yes, it's Socrates with a block of cheese and $1 stuck in the soda pop machine. Got MCs dropping their knees, copping a plea bargain. They keep sobbing like, please stop it. Aftermath, bitch. Still detoxing. Looking for us? We over here. Like we're eavesdropping.
Anyway, you get the point.
Wow, dude.
So yeah, all these people are outraged. The trans world.
Of course.
And the article that I was reading, of course, attacks M for it. Transphobic threats are never fun. They're never fun. Okay. But where Jenner will thrive and continue to make the trans struggle visible and human, Eminem will fade into obscurity, a perpetual reminder of how ugly the early 2000s were.
He will?
Really?
Maybe the number one rap selling artist of all fucking time.
Yeah.
Really he will?
Just that flash in the pan.
Yeah.
As if he was, you're right, as if he was
just a reminder of what a shitty time it was in the 2000s.
As if he's like a one-hit wonder or some shit, dude. Are you kidding me? Multi-platinum selling artist.
Dude, I was reading over the weekend that NWA is talking about going out again.
Yeah, I saw that.
On tour with Eminem playing the fucking Easy role on the road.
Now, my only question about that is
how sick
I was
would
gonna
that
say,
be?
who's gonna be Easy? Oh,
Eminem.
Okay.
Like that would be fucking awesome. But my only question is, because if you always know as an M, when Dre's on his tracks or this or that, Dre will say the N word, but M won't. And Dre will call Eminem that.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that Eazy-E would say that. So
it's like crazy.
Right. So is Eminem gonna?
He'd have to.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a legit question. I don't know.
That would be sick though.
Yeah, but Eazy-E dropped the N-word as much as anybody, and you couldn't go out on the road and not.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Sing the songs, but say, N-word.
Yeah, no.
As opposed to saying the word.
Yeah.
When's that movie come out?
August 14th.
Yeah. You excited for it?
Yeah, I'll go see that.
Yeah. Take Sweet Pie?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Her and her
That's a nice little family
pony.
movie.
Yeah. Sure. Why don't we take a quick break and then we'll, speaking of the N-word, were you a big Hulk Hogan fan?
Oh, man.
Brother.
It's shocking he stuck around as long as he did.
Yeah.
Well, he did a lot of selling. I don't watch as much as I used to, but I definitely went through a period of about 10 years where I was watching wrestling pretty hardcore. And he just, a lot of selling your soul just to, you know what I mean? Just the same, living off the same brother,
Yeah.
that happened in the fucking 80s.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna have trouble coming back from this one. I think it's faux outrage in a sense too. Seeing the outrage over what he said, but we'll get into it. We'll talk about it next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford in Holly. Summer's in full swing, and so are the incredible deals at Zott Ford. Right now, you can lease the amazingly fuel-efficient 2015 Ford Focus at only $148 a month for 24 short months. Or if you're looking for something a little larger and with a touch more luxury, come lease the 2016 Ford Fusion for just $158 for only 24 months. Friends, if you've been shopping around, you already know these are incredible deals. And much like our Michigan summers, they won't last for long. So hurry into Zott Ford at I-75 and exit 98 to take advantage of a Focus for just $148 or a Fusion for $158 right now. And if you mention the Proops sent you, we'll throw in an autographed TDC shirt and hat. Check out our zany deals and our massive inventory at zotford.com.
Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Monday with Mike and Jay. And we briefly mentioned Hulk Hogan before the break.
Before you further mention him, let me briefly mention the Amazon link.
Yes.
Do not forget to use it, people. Please use it. It's a great way to donate to the show. Go to DetroitCast.com. There you will find prominently displayed an Amazon link. Hit it. It'll take you to Amazon. You'll shop like you normally do. They won't charge you any more, and they will give us a little bit of a kickback, so it helps us out a lot. So please continue to use the Amazon link.
The guys I met today from Canada said they were using it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Canadian link on there, too. So
Yep.
help the show. You'll see the Canadian link.
They said they used our Red Bull thing to buy their tickets. They went Saturday and Sunday.
Awesome.
And so they used the 20% off coupon
Perfect.
that we had on our site, which we need to take off now, I suppose.
Yeah.
Since the race is done. But
Right.
so yeah, keep using it. It's definitely helpful.
Also, if you're more importantly, Kadog was right about the wristband.
Of course he was.
And
Yeah.
did we talk about that on the show, or was that off the air that we talked
Oh,
about?
No, it was on the air.
Okay. Well, my wristband's off and preserved
Good.
for all time. Well, or until I die or something.
Until you lose it like everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, you know
Fair
what?
point.
The weird thing that I'm about, I think we brought it on the show before, but the one weird thing, I lose everything that I have except for like ticket stubs and stuff like this. Like I have this
Pink
box.
hat gone.
Right. Stuff like that goes away in a second. But I do have like a box of almost every ticket stub I've had for like 15
That's
years,
actually
20
pretty
years.
cool. I like the collection of ticket stubs.
Because you know what, dude?
Do you have yours?
I did one, and several years ago, I did a huge frame. I just put them all
I
over
wanted
the
to
place.
do
good
that
idea,
too.
dude.
Probably not as big as Iserman or Montana,
just set
but
'em in
maybe
there?
2/3 the side. Yeah, and just miscellaneously all over the place.
Really good idea.
It's
Dude.
just
I
like
like that.
an eclectic mix of places I've been.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't always like, I mean, I have a lot, we all, tickets. I have a lot of them. And yeah, you don't necessarily remember that Tigers game in 1996.
But it's just, I love the randomness of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a random Lions game in 1989.
Right. Not necessarily even the special games. You're
Yeah.
right. Just a regular season game. And I really enjoy I don't look at them that often, but once in a while, if I'm cleaning out my room, I'll open that box and just grab a few and kind of be like, wow.
I've kept movie ticket stubs too.
I do.
So there's
I
a
do
few
too.
in there.
I do too. I keep,
That's
honestly,
crazy.
I keep every
that-
stop I
I'm
ever do.
surprised you of all people, Jay, would have kept that.
I have the U-Haul ticket in there. The night that we went to
No,
the
GNR.
Metallica GNR.
Yeah, I have that stub too.
Isn't that cool? I think that's
That's the one thing I collect. I just
Yeah.
happen to keep, like the tickets today I had in my pocket. I threw them in my drawer when I got home.
Yeah.
I haven't been home yet, but these will absolutely right tonight go into, and this little wristband thing. And yeah, I think that, and that's why, by the way, when I buy tickets now, and like I try still to get
To
the
not
real
get the
ticket.
paper, yeah.
The paper is okay if I have to, but I really try to get, the actual kind of that feel of the real ticket.
Yeah,
It's-
that's going away, man. That
I
bums me
know.
out a lot. I know that there was an event I went to.
Well, even today, though, when
recently.
we brought those in, they scanned them in on iPhones.
Yeah. Yep. And that's the way they're going, that your tickets will be on your phone,
Mhm.
and then you'll just go in with your phone,
dude,
and they'll scan the UPC or whatever on your phone.
when we went to
And
the
that's your
Lions,
ticket stub, which blows, dude, because I love having hard copies
Yeah.
tickets.
when we went to the Lions game this year, and we bought with me and my dad or whatever, we bought those tickets. Like it wasn't even, you talk about your phone, it wasn't even your phone. They literally just scanned his license. It was like they made you set up an account with the Lions, and you just walked up there, slid your
No shit,
license,
your driver's license?
credit card. Sorry, credit card.
Okay.
Okay, credit card. My bad. But still, like you didn't even have anything on us. Like we had nothing in our hand, and you just slid a credit. And then what they did is they printed out like a receipt of like 3 pieces of, but it was like literally like that receipt
Not
material,
ticket-like,
not
yeah.
at
Yeah,
all,
that
not even
sucks.
close to a ticket like. Then I don't even know if I had a date. Like I think it literally just. I feel like it just had the
I don't
seat
like that,
and-
man. All the
I
more reason to
hate
keep
that.
this shit.
Yeah.
So keep them while you can.
That's a real problem for me. I'm sorry. That is.
Yeah, you've
That's
got some
like-
nice ones framed upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Motley Crue.
Yeah, I've got several for a Motley Crue like thing. I've got the GNR,
Dude,
with,
I found
with
myself
autographs of all the members and an album, and I've got some Pearl Jam memorabilia with ticket stubs from various shows.
Mm.
Which talk about a pain in the ass. I tried to get tickets for that Chicago show Pearl Jam did, I don't know, a couple summers ago,
Yeah.
where they were only doing a
Oh.
few dates. dude. And I was a member of the 10 Club. That was like the only way to even try to get tickets if you wanted to go to a Pearl Jam show. And it was brutal. Like you had to sign up and give them a credit card right away. And then they would put you in a lottery and you had a 1 in whatever chance of winning tickets. And if you got tickets, you didn't get those tickets until you got to the venue, and you had to give your driver's license to prove they were for you to be used by you. You couldn't get more than 2 tickets with that.
Yeah, they went through a big period of hating what Ticketmaster.
Right? Yeah, but those days are behind them. But it was still like I couldn't win the tickets, pay for them, get them, and print them out and then give them to you. Like you would show up and they would not admit you with my tickets without a driver's license to stay with. Like trying so bad to cut out scalpers and all that shit. It's like,
it's funny too. That's too bad.
But
almost.
Shit happens.
Right.
Shit happens. And it's like something comes up and all of a sudden you can't go. And now you're supposed to eat $400 in tickets. Cause
something happened to it, man.
Whatever, your family shit comes up and you can't make the show all of a sudden going cross country. And it's like, dude, I'm going to sell them, you know?
That's almost too bad because on one hand, it's the thought process behind it is obviously good. They're trying to make it so only the real fans go.
Yeah.
But of course, you're making it so hard that, like you said, dude, shit just
it's
happens.
a pain in the ass. And I've seen Pearl Jam in a few places, like a gymnasium, somewhere where you're like, this has no business hosting a Pearl Jam concert. It's like a auditorium or a high school gym back in 95 or something when they were going through the Ticketmaster shit. It's like, I've got a ticket stub from some random gymnasium.
Wow.
What did they do? Like, what was their deal with because the obvious is that Ticketmaster was
taking so much money that they weren't going to play.
Their prices were so high.
And they are right now, dude. Dude, anytime I buy tickets right now.
But Pearl Jam got fucked. Pearl Jam stood up for the bands and nobody backed them. Nobody went along with them. Like Pearl Jam was the biggest band in the world at the time.
Wow.
Could have sold out any stadium they wanted to play. And instead they're playing little fucking gymnasiums just because they didn't want their tickets being out of price or out of reach for their fans. Yet no other bands really went, this is bullshit. We're not going to go that route either. But you've got all these Ticketmaster venues. And so they couldn't play the Palace and not use Ticketmaster.
Right.
They couldn't play all the places you're used to seeing shows. So that's why they had to end up in these little, tiny little arenas and
That's
gymnasiums.
Tough, man, because as a band, typically you have such a short time to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
right. I mean, they're obviously an exception in that they could, really do well now. But still, the iron was hot, and they could have struck harder than they struck.
Yeah,
dude, I've never gotten in some capacity how Ticketmaster, like, I don't know what constitutes a monopoly, but like, okay, the Palace, you can still go get tickets. But like St. Andrews or some of those places that people go to, you cannot just walk up in the Monday through Friday and get tickets. So the only place, like if I want to go to St. Andrews, you have to buy them at Ticketmaster, which means you have to pay the $13 effing or whatever.
Yeah, you get like nothing from Ticketmaster. You know, you don't get any benefit.
What are you paying
You're just
for?
paying like this tax, tax.
They survived more. Like when we were younger, was it Belkin, Cellar Door?
Yes.
Remember those?
Absolutely.
On all your tickets? And then it was just Ticketmaster exclusively.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing nowadays.
Dude, I so often, me and my sister, I think, are going to go see Jim Gaffigan coming up here soon.
Yeah.
And we're getting a few tickets because it's her boyfriend's birthday and yada, yada. If you're getting at least more than 2 for sure, maybe if only 2, it's not worth it. But if you're getting 3, 4 tickets, it is so more worth it still to drive to the Palace and buy 4 tickets for $20 lawn seats as opposed to $35 by buying them online. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. We bought Motley Crue tickets a couple years ago, and there was $180 in service charges after
for what? And
seriously,
I get that it's a business.
I
get it. I get $5. I could see. I suppose they're offering us a service by not having to drive to the venue. But when it gets to the point where you can literally buy 4 tickets for the price of, I guess 6. I'm trying to think how I'm doing the math wrong.
No, go ahead. You got this.
By 4,
80 miles an hour.
Your son made fun of me for that today, by the way.
Which one, Manny or Russ?
I think it was Russ.
Probably Russ.
I think it was Russ.
Was he wearing the hat that you want to buy from him?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Well, here's what happened. I was trying to suck up to your kids because I wanted them to think I was cool.
Yeah, good luck.
And then I tried to ask them, what could I do that your dad would start accepting me more? And Russ just flat out said,
That's gonna 12-year-old this.
Get smarter.
Russell said that to you?
Yes. And I said, well, that's off the table at this point. Okay. That train has
Get
set.
smarter.
And then he went into tell me and proceed to in front of, I think, RBM, Jelski, and the said company and my friends and make fun of me that I didn't know how to do the 80-mile-an-hour math problem.
God, did he really?
Dude,
it's so fun.
dogged by a
Every time
12-year-old?
I've seen them out in public when we've all been together somewhere, one of them will go, "Is he going to be here?" Like I'll overhear one of them go, "Is he here? Is he gonna be here?" Like they just want to see the enigma that is the retard.
It's like a zoo animal. They asked before we went,
Can we feed it?
Is Eric gonna be there? Yeah, he'll be there.
I like that. Yeah, getting dressed down by a 12-year-old
Yes.
at math is not the highlight of my life today. I'm going to be honest. It's definitely not the highlight.
Dressed down.
Like, I mean, and it wasn't even like, dude, it was like as if one of your good friends is just giving you a hardcore, like, man, you freaking homo or something. Like, that's what it was like. It was like, dude, you didn't even know this math problem, you idiot.
Dude, early on in our doing this, he asked me, he heard you talking about something, and he asked me, is he educated?
What was the response to that?
I was like,
I know, like
not
I said,
really.
and that's just what
But
I said.
I
Like,
pointed to you like 3 times today, like, guys, see, this is what you don't want to end up like. Okay, so this is why you stay in school. This is why you do well, because that's what you don't want to be.
and yeah, dude, just when he said get smarter, I just remember thinking, dude, that's come and gone, my man. Is there anything else?
Yeah, what else can I do?
He's like, so you want to buy my hat? He's wearing this garish, stupid hat. I don't
Yeah.
even
I
know
do like
why I let him out of the house with it.
because it's awesome.
It's I guess what a 12-year-old would wear backward, just looking, like a teal kind of hat with just crazy colors and stuff. And
I'm very much
he's like,
considering it.
ooh, yeah. He's like, what do you want for that? 10, 15 bucks? He's like, 20.
I know. I almost. And then who else wanted it? Somebody else wanted it, and so someone was trying to teach him the power of like making
bidding
people,
war?
Yeah.
right, like making value. So now all of a sudden, oh, his freaking DTRBM's wife was like, oh, I like that hat, and so she was going to offer him 25, and I'm like, God damn it,
Just driving up the price.
I know. I'm trying to tell him that it would be better to sell it to me because I don't know why, but
Or just ask him where you got it.
well, that's the problem though. It's a unique thing.
Yeah,
because
it was made by his friend.
like
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah, it's
His friend's brother made like this series of hats.
right.
Like,
So
Really?
that's the
dyed 'em
thing.
all
This
and
isn't
everything.
just some shit. This is everything I look for when I go to Salvation Army because it's not something that everyone can just have. It's unique.
It's different.
Exactly. And it's like you said, it's pretty stupid looking in a way.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is.
But that's
stupid
why I
looking.
like it. That could be the next pink hat. I need to get $20, I think. So I might bring $20 in tomorrow.
We'll see what we can do about that.
Okay.
Is Russ still open
I'm
to
not
negotiations?
paying my kid for his hat. Okay.
Why?
He's gonna have to come up with $20 on his own. I'm not fronting $20.
Oh yeah,
my
no, that's
kid.
fair. No, that's fair.
All
But
right.
I mean, is Russell still open to
Russell
negotiation?
probably go 25 at this point.
Well, I can't go 25
Well, how
for
bad
that
do you want
dude.
the hat?
I don't want it. Dude, I bought my freaking hat. I just got my new pink version of my hat at the Salvation Army last week for $3.99.
Yeah, but this is like
I
one
know.
of a kind.
That's
It's
the
fast.
problem.
One of a kind is big. You pay for that.
I
There's
know.
a premium for one of a kind.
I-
12-year-old wore it.
I know it gives me some younger cred,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
dude.
I also tried to explain to your boys what hipster was. I don't know if you were there when that was going on.
No,
Because
I wasn't.
that's why I was explaining why I liked his hat. Because it was this idea of like liking things that are uncool to be cool or something. And
They're just looking at you like, no, I think I'll like cool stuff instead.
right.
Yeah.
I know. So whatever.
Well, I'd stand firm. Offer him 20. Say you've got a week and see what he comes back
Yeah,
with.
he
If
said-
you're willing to roll the dice,
I have a feeling Russell will go 25 and no lower.
I have a feeling his lawyer father is negotiating
You
on his
son
behalf,
of a bitch.
and perhaps he's desperate for $20.
Right. Maybe.
But-
How do I know you're not just going to pocket that extra $5 and tell Russ that?
Yeah, here's your 20, buddy.
Yeah.
Or is that the finding fee? I
Here's your
suppose,
15.
or-
Best I could do.
Right.
Hey, speaking of a great deal, super summer savings have arrived at Zott Ford and Holly. Right now, you can lease the all-new 2015 Ford F-150 Super Cab XLT 4x4 for $272 a month for just 24 months. This is not bust out base model either, friends. This beast of a truck stickers over $44,000 and can be yours for just $272 per month right now. Get to Zot Ford and get one ASAP. You deserve it.
Hulk Hogan, mentioned him a minute ago. The WWE has cut ties officially with Hulk Hogan. He's no longer mentioned anywhere on their website. His bio's been yanked because of what was revealed on this tirade. It's all part of that sex tape scandal.
Yeah,
he got caught up in.
Yeah, where he's banging his buddy's wife. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
This is Bubba the Love Sponge, right?
Yeah,
I think you're right, yeah.
Bubba the Love Sponge, who's a relatively famous DJ down in Tampa, kind of the shock jock kind of guy,
right?
And happens to be best friends with Terry Hulk Hogan. And yeah, what a weird thing. The idea of like, yeah, you want to bang my wife on film?
Come on over.
And
yeah,
jump in my bed and bang my wife.
Remember how weird that was too? Like, remember how that video was like? It was almost like it wasn't even like a sex tape in the sense like just having like it was like wasn't he in the other room or something, or like it was very business-like? Or am I wrong or no?
I don't remember. I know Gawker leaked some of it, and that was where the lawsuit came about.
Right.
He sued them for $100 million over that.
I swear to God, and maybe I'm wrong, but I swear I just remember it being really weird. Like it was almost like business-like. Like they like met each other and then or something, and then he just went to the other room and he banged his wife, and then it was over. Maybe I'm wrong though.
No, you might be right. I don't remember exactly what the details were on it, but part of this, it was revealed as, and they haven't made the audio tapes. Those aren't public, but part of this lawsuit is they, over the Gawker thing, they transcribed what was on this tape, and some of it includes him talking about Brooke Hogan, his daughter, and her black boyfriend, who I think is someone we've heard of. I can't remember. Kadog, maybe you can figure out who that was, who Brooke's boyfriend was that he's bitching about in this tape. So anyway, he gets into this tirade and he says stuff like, I mean, I'd rather she was going to fuck some N-word. I'd rather have her marry an 8-foot tall N worth $100 million, like a basketball player. I guess we're all a little racist. Effing or fucking N-word. So yeah.
I guess we're all. I like how when you're racist, he's being racist, so he just decides that
we're all racist.
It's almost like it makes it okay because he's decided that everyone's racist. It's like, no, you are.
Yeah, it's a weird statement.
Well, his profile has been removed from the alumni section of the WWE website. Merch was removed from their online shop. He was removed from the cast listing of Tough Enough, which is a reality series that they
old
produce.
Is the guy at this point? Just
dude, so.
60s, he's got to be,
right?
Yes,
for sure.
Which he's outlived most wrestlers by what, 20 years at that point? I mean, wrestlers just drop daily. There's a story almost every day about a wrestler that's dead.
No, especially from back in his day,
61.
Especially the ones back in his time, because now they have gotten a little more with steroids. They're a little more pretty hardcore, more on being avoiding them. But back then, dude, of course they were all just taking steroids left and right.
Dude, he's 6'7".
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I didn't realize he was that tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude. So WWE came out, of course, with a statement. And they're committed to embracing and celebrating individuals from all backgrounds as demonstrated by the diversity of our employees, performers, and fans worldwide.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so they're on the record being against racism, which is good. I was good. I was wondering where the WWE stood on racism.
I was wondering where a big corporation in America stood on it.
Yeah. And that was a close one. I didn't know how they were going to side on this one, but they came out and they clearly say they're against racism.
His nuts are
broken.
Well,
it's that skin, dude. I'm telling you, for whatever reason today, that irritation of that skin is.
He's had his hand on his nuts the whole show, dude.
Well, yeah.
It's just, and he's doing it like through his pocket in his hoodie, because I don't think he wants me to see him scratching him the whole time, but the whole time he's got his hand on his nuts through the pocket in his hoodie. Look at him using that.
I know, dude. It's the irritation from the burn.
Is it one spot in particular that you're always scratching?
Yes, it's.
Is there someone you can see about this? Some ointment you could apply.
There probably is. I'm sure if I really asked a doctor or something.
I know the ointment.
What?
I think
Gold Bond.
Gold Bond.
No, but dude,
Gold Bond will work.
Do you think that will work?
Yes.
Because that works on sweaty nuts or some shit, or that works on.
Dude,
no,
have you tried anything?
Itching. No, he hasn't.
Fuck, man.
I'll give you some Gold Bond and try it.
I'm telling you though, this is different.
You got
than
sweaty nuts, or you got itchy nuts too,
just
Mike?
Gold Bond cream,
Okay.
just for itch, whatever.
I'm telling you though, this
But
is
not for my nuts. No,
this
don't.
is a little different. It's not even my nuts. It's this area right here that I swear it's from being burned those times. I'm telling you, it's that irritation of that. It's like having a freaking suntan or sunburn that like just kind of bugs you a few days later.
And
except
this was a dozen years ago.
When was
I mean,
this?
what-
2006.
We
or
met the
7.
guy that burned him, by the way,
Yes.
Nick. That today that was
his-
there is
yeah.
the guy that set him alight.
Okay, so 8 years ago, did you say?
Yeah.
2007. Okay, for 8 years, you've been itching your friggin' nuts.
Yes.
It's never occurred to you to, I don't know, try to solve this problem.
I guess not, honestly, which is really weird when you think about it.
I know, beside yourself. It's amazing.
Okay.
We'll get through it. We're almost done.
With the show or today?
Just today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Hulk Hogan sent out a message as well, apology, of course, because he probably feels terrible.
Deep.
Oh, I'm sure.
About-
Right?
I don't know what does he feel bad about getting caught or
He feels-
Seriously, dude, you say something like that, that's how you feel.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say shit like that and you really feel that. You don't just
the only way I think
I like hey, boys just being boys. You don't throw shit like that around.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, there's a difference between like, my nigga, something like that, getting caught saying something like that versus that fucking
Yeah.
ER, like, and you don't think you're being heard.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
pretty
the-
bad.
It reminds me of Dog, the bounty hunter.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
It's a
funny
great one.
enough, I mean, don't those two kind of they're sort of caricatures of themselves.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just outlandish look and just fucking idiots,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Isn't the only way, now you haven't read the apology yet, but isn't the only way that maybe the apology is actually real is if you were to admit, you know what, dude, I've had issues in my life. I've been working on them. So, you know what I mean? It's almost admitting that he was racist at one point, but he's worked on it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say, I'm sorry and I didn't really mean it. Right?
Well,
Does that make sense or not really?
No, I get it. I get where you're going.
Like maybe
with
he
that.
went through some actual therapy.
met
or,
with clergy.
but yeah,
Well,
but like he actually did it.
Community
Like,
leaders.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying, kind of, right?
Yeah,
Or no? Okay.
I do.
Well, he came out and said 8 years ago, I used offensive language during a conversation. It was unacceptable for me to have used that offensive
See-
language. There is no excuse for it, and I apologize for having done it. This is not who I am.
See, that's
Yeah,
what
it is. Totally.
I believe very strongly
No, that
indeed,
is who you are.
that every person in the world is important and should not be treated differently based on race, gender, orientation, religious beliefs, or otherwise.
Oh boy.
I am disappointed with myself that I
No, he's
used
not.
language that is offensive and inconsistent with my own beliefs.
Hulkster, come on over here. I've written something down. Just affirm that you agree with this. Is this how you feel,
Terry.
Hulkster?
Well, honestly, I've been feeling that every person in the world is important. That's really how I feel.
No matter what.
Well, I
I
feel
know I
like
said this, but
people just shouldn't be treated differently based on, things like race and gender and orientation.
Any other characteristics?
Well, religious beliefs or otherwise.
Perfect. I'll
Otherwise-
write that down for
Yeah.
you, Hulkster.
I love that.
That sounds good,
otherwise,
Carrie.
otherwise is in there, so that just clears up in case there was anybody else that he had missed.
The
Because-
catch-all.
Right, just throw an otherwise there, so that way he's like, for sure, we know what he feels.
The only thing I take issue with, and honestly, whatever, people know how I feel, but what I take issue with is WWE scrubbing, like the WWE
So ridiculous, dude.
has faced issues with racial stereotypes
Oh yeah,
forever. People have ragged on the WWE for the characters that they create. I mean, they've got writing teams that will take these athletes and put them in these situations, and so for them to be like, this is an outrage.
Like what? I'm not
dude. No,
familiar with the rest.
Mike's right. Do you have the examples there, dude? Some of those,
I
like,
printed a few of them out, and
some of the
and these
fucking
go
tag
back.
teams and shit that are
Yeah.
absolutely, dude. No, these characters that he's about to read. There are some that like I
Yeah.
don't care because it's wrestling, it's entertainment. But as if
They and if you look at the history of the WWE, and I know but but they've never had a black world champion in 65 years.
I was literally
doing it.
I was going to tell you that I didn't know if you had known that because only because I've
the
watched
Rock,
wrestling.
The Rock is the closest to what is he Samoan?
Right. And is he black?
And he's got and what his father and grandfather both wrestled in the organization.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got the
Am I wrong that the WWF was the big one when we were kids?
which morphed into the WWE.
Okay.
It's because
Same
of the
group.
worldwide world.
Yeah,
Was it
there was a copyright or a trademark
Okay.
infringement or something,
Same
so they had to go WWE.
World Wildlife Foundation came out and said, "Oh, we're the we've trademarked
Yeah.
WWF," and so they had to turn into WWE.
Yeah,
Got it.
World Wrestling
That was very
Entertainment.
ignorant of me. That shows
No,
how much I know about.
Right.
Well, I know just about as much as you do about it, but
That's why I was going to say if you didn't know about the black, I was going to say, dude, they have not had an African American world
What
champion.
about Jimmy Superfly Snuka? What was he? Was he Samoan
White.
too?
was he? I don't know.
I feel like he was something.
We have the Godfather, Papa Shango. Same guy, a pimp complete with his stable of women. The show called them
Oh, I
Hoes.
remember that.
the whole
The Hose. You've got Akeem, the African Dream, built from the deepest, darkest parts of Africa, managed by a pimp named Slick.
Ugh.
Big Boss Man, Southern redneck police character with Confederate patch on his shirt, used baton to beat lawbreakers.
Oh, sure, I remember him.
Crime Time, an urban rapper character with fake fronts and chains.
That was a good duo, by the way. That was a good tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, what's Snuka here? Hold on, Jimmy Superfly.
He's
He
from
was
Fiji.
awesome.
Fiji. All right, I knew he was something.
He was awesome too. From the
Yeah.
top ropes.
Hell yeah.
And then you've got the Farouk and the Nation of Domination. Black militant had disdain for anything white. They were kind of their play on the Black Panthers.
Okay.
So it was the characters that were created there. So you got these militant black guys. The Iron Sheik, the Arab character,
Yes.
always played the heel. The Junkyard Dog, complete with chains around his neck. He would carry a bone and bark.
Dude.
Remember the
that's
Junkyard Dog?
Yeah.
Kamala, the Ugandan giant African native, to be controlled by a white handler with the face paint and
Yes.
all the bones and chains. Kofi Kingston, supposedly from Jamaica, complete with terrible accent and Jamaican colors.
Ha! Kobe Kingston.
The Voodoo Man, Papa Shango.
Oh yeah, remember him.
Saba Simba, the African warrior.
Yeah, these are all fine, right?
These are just stereotypes, is what these
Exactly.
characters are created on. Virgil, black manservant to white wrestler Ted DiBiase.
Mhm.
I remember Ted DiBiase. The wild Samoans, the wild island natives. So,
Yep. Remember them.
so for the WWE to come
Yeah.
out so strong, we're like, oh, this is outrageous.
And honestly, dude, by the way,
this is outrageous.
You're
He said
just-
the N-word.
you're just naming a few.
That's just off the top.
And
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what about? And I know the religion. When he says, because he says not just race in there, he always talks about religion and stuff, dude.
Mhm.
They had a storyline one time where Vince McMahon fought Shawn Michaels in a 2-on-1 handicap, and Shawn Michaels' tag team was God. And so it's like the deal was like, oh, you're because Shawn Michaels became really religious after a while. So, but I mean, you had video of like Vince going into a church and like taking the holy water. You know what I mean? So it's
Oh
like,
my gosh.
so how, I know that's he just said, the idea of religion too. So it's like,
Yeah,
dude,
but all Hulkster did was the N-word, so he didn't get into religion.
I get it, but I'm just saying when he apologized, though, he said, my point of that story is though, you have storylines like that, you have characters like that, and then you're gonna, we'll take them off everything.
Well, my point is just that it's funny seeing the outrage, and it's totally a bottom line dollars and cents thing. Like, how is this perceived for the company? How does the company come off in this?
Right.
But the fact is that company has been, and I'm sure they'll have a black champion soon enough.
Well, could there be a more bottom feeder kind of company out there, right? It just twists and turns.
It's like it's just a soap
It is.
opera. It's a sports.
It's a
soap opera.
circus soap opera all combined. When we were watching, like what I remember is, Hulkster was there, Andre the Giant, and all that, and then they got Elizabeth to do the Randy Macho Man type thing, and they introduced this woman to it, and then all of a sudden it just busted loose into this sexualized thing.
Yeah, which they've really toned down, haven't they?
Yeah, dude. In the last,
haven't they gone really PG?
Yes, it actually sucks. That's
Like, I couldn't believe what I was turning on like 10 years ago. Like, oh my God, this is what it's become.
in
Like,
the Attitude Era.
completely. In what?
That was in the Attitude Era. That's what you're referring to,
All
and
right.
it got really crazy. You're right, dude. It's been, I don't know if it's been 5 years now or 7 even.
But yeah,
But-
for this company to like exude any sort of morals, and
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah, give me a
It's
break.
TVP, it is TVPG though now, which is still humorous to me because all TVPG really means is they don't full on have blood anymore on purpose, and you know what I mean, and they don't swear quite as much. There's not as much sex. But to me, the idea that it's PG, but you would still have people talking about kicking each other's face in, or you know, every drama is solved by a fight in reality. So how's
Yeah.
that PG? You know what I mean? How's that
He's
PG?
way too into this.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the British Bulldogs?
I don't know.
Last time I saw them, one of them got really bloody, I think, at WrestleMania 3.
Really?
Yeah, and then I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
WrestleMania 3 was probably like the last time I
Yeah,
When was the one at the Silverdome?
think that
That
might
was-
have been WrestleMania 3.
it was.
It was?
Yeah.
That was huge.
Dude.
Still the
Still the biggest?
biggest yeah, for because it was because of the being able to have the floor
90,000,
obviously 90,000. Yeah.
God, think about that. That whole dome filled for that.
If I had to guess, I would say at least one of the British Bulldogs are dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they, Kadog?
So far, I see that they disbanded in 1990.
Whoa, they hung around. Was it the same two the whole time? Because sometimes you know how bands are and
Oh, yeah.
groups are.
You're not getting the original members.
Right. The British Bulldogs. Davey Boy Smith and the Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Are they still alive?
I was looking. It kind of looked like they might be.
Wow.
It doesn't seem like you think it would say
Because
death
usually-
or an age, right?
Yeah, Eric's right. Usually it'll say like born, died, but I don't see any deaths.
A
listed.
combined 481 pounds
Hmm.
from Leeds, England. Yeah, debut 1983.
Funny, they were England and they did the pounds. Sometimes WWE, when they do something like the English like that, they'll do the stone or something to make it sound more official.
Nice.
Did you see our president over in Africa?
Yeah, made some comments about his homeland.
Yeah, he sure did. He received a little rock star's welcome. His first presidential visit to Kenya, the country where he was born. I mean, his father was born. He said he targeted his speech at the country's young people and leaders of the future. He urged them to choose a path to progress. You can choose the path to progress, but it requires making some important choices. He urged the nation's leaders to continue and root out corruption, eliminate income equality, and end tribal conflict and gender violence. For too
Gender
long,
violence.
yeah, I think that many looked to the outside for salvation and focused on somebody else being at fault for the problems of the continent. So you shouldn't blame others for your problems. Obama said that that the continued tribal and ethnic divisions are doomed to tear our country apart.
Did he really?
Yeah. Doomed to tear our country apart. The president also called for an end to violence against women, forced marriages for girls who should be in school, sexual assault, and female genital mutilation.
What's up with genital mutilation?
I don't know.
God.
Some would argue that circumcision is the same thing, but
No, but they're like removing the bean.
yeah,
aren't
they remove the bean completely. I hear it's very, very painful as well.
What's that?
Here, it
can
makes
imagine.
a tasty soup, though.
Oh, bean soup?
Dude,
Fan of bean
why?
soup?
Why would they do that?
Because
Just
to
make them
desexualize them.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. These traditions may date back centuries. They have no place in the 21st century. Despite the warm welcome from the people, Kenya's leader, Mr. Kenyatta.
Perfect.
I know, isn't that's
President Americana.
I
God.
thought the exact same thing.
Perfect.
President Kenyatta did not seem so enamored during the discussion on gay rights. President Obama got up there and was talking about gay rights in Kenya
Jesus.
and how we need to be accepting of everybody and this and that. And Kenya's president, Kenyatta, was like, yeah, good luck with that over there, but we all good over here with
Yeah.
the gay rights movement.
It's like we're still trying to digest the whole not cut the bean off thing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna throw gay rights at
You
us.
really think you guys just got on board with gay rights like a week ago. So how about you fuck off when it comes to Kenya and gay rights? How about that, Mr. Obama? He spoke out and Obama spoke out in criticism of Kenya's treatment of homos, comparing discrimination against gay people to racism.
You use that phrasing.
I'm just trying to speed it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't actually say homos. He actually said homosexuals. He added, law-abiding citizens should not be punished for loving a particular person. As an African American in the United States, I am painfully aware of what happens when people are treated differently. When you start treating people differently, not because of any harm they are doing, but because they are different, that's the path whereby freedoms begin to erode. If someone is law-abiding, the idea they are going to be treated differently or abused because of who they love is wrong. Full stop. Kenyatta, who's standing right next to Obama, basically went, yeah, gay rights are really a non-issue here in Kenya.
That's awesome.
Not interested, my man. Sorry. Right to his face is like, yeah, they're a non-issue here. So, and then he went on to say that,
oh my God.
The fact of the matter is Kenya and the U.S. share many values: common love for democracy, entrepreneurship, value for families. These are some things we share. The whole thing on the tranny and the homo thing, that's a you issue. It's a non-issue here in Kenya. Sorry. But there are some things that we must admit we don't share. Our culture, our societies just won't accept.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God, you know, that puts into perspective, of course, we always say that, but you know, the fight over here when there's someone just maybe says something just the wrong way or don't accept it and here you got this.
Yeah.
Look what it could be like. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Look what it could be like.
Some African rights groups and Kenyan politicians had urged Obama to tread cautiously on that subject over here. Yeah, you're not in your hometown, my man. So interesting place for him to go.
Wow, that's how I almost want to watch that video now to see him really react like that. You know, see him next to Obama.
Yeah, it's
kind of want to see that.
Yeah. And then lastly, before we get to email, and I'm sure we've got a little bit of email. Did you hear about these two boys, 14-year-old kids down in Florida?
Yeah, missing the fishermen.
Yeah, they found their boat tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good news or
Hold
bad
on.
news.
Did you hear a shark ate a guy the other day?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, down in Australia, I believe.
The guy that got almost
not a
bitten.
good day. Dude, they're out there eating people now, dude.
Oh, it's on accident. They don't mean it. Those proops don't mean
Scallop diver and his daughter were scallop diving as scallop divers do.
They're known to.
She comes up. She's waiting for the dad to come up.
And
he's not up. She looks down, sees a shark devouring him.
Well, to a shark, it looks like you've broken into his house.
Damn, dude.
It's crazy.
It's like an epidemic now. It's happening every other day.
It's not an epidemic. It's getting to Ebola level.
I gotta
How
be
many
honest.
people have been eaten by sharks in the last 24 hours?
Jay.
Seriously.
One.
Jay, I gotta be
How many
honest.
people have died on U.S. roads in a day?
I know, dude, but it's just terrifying to think of something
biting your flesh. I get that,
Like,
but
I
the
can't see
odds
it
are
coming.
so incredibly
I
low.
just want to be in the water and cool off, and then this thing comes and eats part of me. I can't handle that.
If he starts nibbling on you, do you want him to finish the job, or do you want it to be quickly done? You're done, or are you cool with like losing an arm or a leg?
Dude, that would suck.
It would.
Damn.
I gotta say, by the way,
I'd still respect you. I mean, I'd still welcome you over here. I mean, but
God, I'd be so freaked
it'd
out.
be
I can't
weird to
even-
look at you.
I think,
Especially if it was if a shark took your right arm, I'd have a serious problem because I'm not going to do
Yeah.
the left-handed shake with you.
Nothing here.
What?
Yeah, like, dude, I don't want to even fist bump
No?
you left-handed. No, I got to come in hard right.
we could get a prosthetic arm, dude.
I'm not shaking.
Shaking that hook.
like Chubbs and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these 14-year-old boys,
Yes.
you've got a 14-year-old virtually, basically. Would you let them hop in a boat by themselves
Well,
off
these
the
guys
coast
have
of
been
Florida?
fishing forever, man, and they're from there, and that's what they do.
Yeah,
And so
but
they're like, yeah, didn't they save up a bunch of money for gas? And-
yeah, they spent like $110 on gas. The parents are like, maybe they went down to the Bahamas. I know. But look at the head of hair on that son of a bitch. Look at that head of hair.
Oh my God. wow.
That's an impressive waff, isn't it?
Quaff.
Quaff. That's what I meant. You heard it right.
That is a lot of hair on that kid.
Look at that. There's a
Yeah.
nice color photo of him. Look at
It's
that.
like, hold on, like you could take off the top 5 inches of that.
It's very
you know?
Kelso-ish.
Yeah.
Holy hell, dude.
It's a helmet.
That's incredible.
You're right.
That's not going to recede. That is not going to recede.
No.
Even if it does, there'd be room to go.
Look at that other kid. He looks like he's been fishing for like, I don't know. His
He
whole
looks too
life,
ripped to be a 14-year-old little boy, doesn't he?
But look how comfortable he is with that scene. Like that looks like a 40-year-old guy would do, right? Standing there with that big fish.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they're working through the night. As you said, they're known to be, they've been on the water their whole lives. But yeah, that's, I don't know if that's
that does not bode well.
No, to find the boat and not find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what could have happened, but I guess we'll know soon enough. But
dude, fish story from last week, I think it was. I'm awakened in the very, very early morning, probably 5:30, 6 o'clock ish, by Gab, and she's flustered, very flustered. She's like, wake up. I'm like, what? That's not the norm. It's very unusual for her to wake me up like that. But I could immediately tell like something was wrong with an animal. I don't know why. Like she just had this like kind of like, it's
not a child problem.
Yeah, it was like, come here. And I'm thinking, damn it. Am I going to have to like get a dead something out of the window well or something? Like what happened, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. So Manny and Russ were sleeping over somebody's house, and Manny left his alarm on, his clock radio alarm.
Yeah.
She went in to turn it off, and there she finds the two cats sitting with Manny's fish tank tipped over.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
And she sees the fish laying there. Single fish. It's one of these, what do you call them? The fighter fish. Those are.
Yeah.
The beta?
Yes, the beta. So Manny has a single beta tipped over, a little like 1.5 gallon tank. Not a obviously small thing, but they're sitting there with the fish there. So Gab, oh my God, like how long has this been here? Who knows?
Yeah.
She goes to like kind of get the fish. It's not moving. So she's like, oh my God, like I have to flush this thing. I got to get rid of it. I don't want the cats to eat it. So she gets them out of the room. And she goes and she's like, I can't flush this. I got to let Manny like bury it if he wants to bury it. It's his pet. Yeah. So she goes to get like a little candy box or something to put it in. She's trying to get it in. She couldn't. So she went and got a spoon. And she touched the thing with a spoon and it jumped. It leapt.
No.
What? Yes, it leapt, dude. So that's when she came and got me. She's like, oh my God.
Wait a minute. Why would she go get you? If it's got a little life to it, why didn't you get a cup of water?
Can't handle, I know she can't handle fish. They freak her out. The feeling of fish.
I'm with her there. I know I'm with her there.
So she did have the wherewithal to go get a cup of water, but she got me to pick up the freaking fish. So I go in there and grab this fish. I'm like, what? What's the big deal? I just grab it and throw it in the fucking thing and I go back to bed. I'm like, what was that all about?
Yeah.
It was a fish.
And it lived, dude. And here's the thing, like, what are the chances she walks in there during, I don't know, the minute and a half?
Yeah, during the attempted
thing
murder.
could have possibly been still alive.
Wow.
That alarm goes off.
That's what I was just going to say.
That alarm doesn't go off. She never walks in there.
Yeah. Why are the cats letting it? What are they, torturing it?
She speculates they probably had it in their mouths and were probably playing with it and shit, because it was kind of like
if they had it in their mouth,
the tail was ripped up. No, that's what they do though.
The tail was ripped up.
Yeah, they'll put stuff in there and they'll take it out and dude, just weird though the timing. Right?
Yeah, that's
I don't know what the window is, but it can't be more than a couple minutes.
So do you think these sons of bitches helped and pushed the tank over?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tank and moose.
We don't have any fish anymore, but we had fish at one point, and I absolutely remember our cats would get up there and look at those fish. And
we kind of laughed like, oh yeah, they're sitting right next to it watching it, but they'd never made any sort of move like they're going to tip it. But yeah, sure enough, they tipped that son of a bitch.
Really? Have there been precautions put in place now to?
Yeah, now the door's closed all the time.
Oh, okay.
So
wow, that's hilarious.
So Apollo lives on.
Apollo,
an amazing story he'll have for all of his friends.
Apollo's
if he ever meets one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the real estate market is hot right now. Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban will get your home sold fast. And as a gift to TDC listeners, Krista will pay for your whole house to be cleaned before it hits the market. That is a great offer.
Yeah.
Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. Yes, we do have some email.
What do we got?
Well, If you remember a few months ago, we heard of an establishment down in Dallas called Tallywhackers.
I remember that well.
Yeah, and it was sort of the male equivalent of Hooters. We're gonna have male waiters walking around displaying their wares.
Manhoodish.
Yeah. And so immediately we thought of Craig Backus, our Dallas listener. I guess he actually lives in Fort Worth, but we kind of assigned the Backuses to attend Tallywhackers.
Yeah,
and
see
let
what
us
it's all
know.
about.
Yeah, kind of do a restaurant review for us. So Craig
He was
writes
supposed
in.
to do that a few months back.
Yeah, he was going to go to, I think, the grand opening or something, but there
Yeah,
was the
that's
big
right.
storms. And he actually
the
contacted me.
flooding.
He's like, I can't get there. It's
Yeah.
all messed up. So Craig writes in, to the king and his minions. The Backuses finally made the trip to Dallas this weekend. People from Fort Worth only go to Dallas on special occasions. It's a thing, but I digress.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I didn't know that. Since we didn't want to go through the whole production of getting a babysitter, the whole family went.
He took the whole family to Tallywhackers.
He has 2 young sons.
Boy.
Surprisingly, Tallywhackers didn't have a kids menu, but they did have a fabulous brunch menu for Sunday afternoon. The crowd was definitely mixed from a number of young ladies who didn't seem to care about the quality of the hot dogs to a number of young men who were equally interested in the waitstaff.
Yeah.
There was one odd family of Chinese people.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
Sitting a few tables down from us that seemed like they simply came because Tallywhackers made the Dallas news this week for being one of the best places in town for wieners.
Are you serious?
Dude,
is that their
They
tagline?
specialize in freaking wieners.
Well, of course, right?
My older boy, Nate, age 11, wanted to crawl under the table as soon as we got there and said under his breath, "This is the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my life." My younger boy didn't seem to care one way or the other, but from his pick, he did have his guard up. Check him out. He's got his guard up already. He's got a knife, like ready to wield it.
Knife and a fork. Get away from me, you.
Get away from me, wait staff.
What is the wait staff wearing? Do we know exactly what
Well,
they're
I'll
wearing?
get to that. I decided to order the official Tallywhacker. And I was sure to take the whole foot long. It was very good, says Craig. Wow.
Was it really? Was it good?
Well, check it out. Kind of looks like a mess of food there. Not sure I see a foot long Tallywhacker.
I see a foot long Tallywhacker.
Where? Let me see.
Here's the helmet, and here's the other.
Oh
half
my
of the
God.
helmet. See
It's
it
so
in there?
covered
It's
with
buried
stuff.
Yeah, it's in a forest, if you will, with fries, and I see 4 pickle spears.
Huh. That's the
What appears to be
Tallywhacker.
a tomato, perhaps some guac.
Dude, I've been digging tomato on hot dogs, or not hot dogs, but like brats over the last couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, loaded up with
Right.
mustard
Wait,
and
wait,
tomato.
wait.
and
Tomato?
lettuce. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Outrage.
Like tomato, like cold or like
Yes.
wow.
Cold
No,
tomato, dude.
See, I
Dice it up, throw some lettuce on there, a bunch of mustard.
On a dog?
Yeah. Is that weird?
Well, I like
it's one of the weirdest things.
Really? You should try it, E.
I like
well.
just
Delicious.
onion and mustard.
Why?
I think I must have made an impression on our waiter, says Craig. Gerald, as he sketched out his lovely picture for me. Check out what Gerald did on the Tallywhackers receipt there. Thanks, you.
Thanks, you. All right.
He sketched out a little muscle man.
Yep.
Little muscle man for Craig.
That muscle man.
Since Gerald gave us his full attention, I made sure to give him the tip. Gail just stood by and watched. He was happy to pose with us in our Detroit Cast gear, but apologized to Eric as he did leave his shirt on. There are many more pictures of the team, though, on their Facebook page, so have Eric check that out in his spare time. So there's Gerald. Look at Craig and Gail. They took the family to Tallywhackers.
Look at those short shorts. He's wearing the shortest Daisy Dukes you've ever seen. Not Craig.
Oh my God.
Not Craig. I can't
Gerald.
tell. I can't tell how short Craig's Daisy Dukes are, but Gerald's are impressively short.
Craig doesn't have pants on.
He doesn't.
Can I
He's not
see
wearing
some of these
pants.
here?
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Nate did notice a poster of a glamorously dressed singer. So this is the uncomfortable 11-year-old who notices this, who must be scheduled to appear next weekend. We explained that it was a man. He said, no, they're wearing a dress. And we said, well, that's a man, and we're not coming back to see him.
Ooh.
Nate followed up later by saying, well, when I get to 6th grade this year and they asked what we did this summer, I can say we did go to Tallywhackers. By the way, Nate refused to eat a hot dog. He got a hamburger.
Yeah, I'm with Nate on
was
that one.
troubled by the
Yeah.
whole experience.
Yeah, good boy.
He knew like immediately something.
Something was amiss.
Yeah. Peace. Craig, Gail, Nate, and Curtis reporting from the Big D on behalf of the Detroitcast.
Well,
done,
I
Craig.
appreciate the fact that he went and completed that task. It was not an easy task for him and that family. I wonder what Manny and Russ would feel like. I imagine Sweet Pie's probably too young to. She just
honestly
like dinner. But would Manny and Russ walk in there and go?
I'll tell
Where
you.
Are you taking me?
Well, I will say this: the closest we got, we were in Saugatuck last year, and we walked into an establishment and we kind of just walked right out. Like, not. I mean, dude, I don't fucking care, right? And but the boys just were like, I don't feel comfortable here. And
what was it?
It was really, really, really like
titties
flaming.
or
no, it was just flaming.
Yeah,
honestly, and both of them were just like, I don't really. I don't like this place. I don't feel comfortable. Right? All right, well, let's just go to the one next door. I mean, it's sort of the same, but a little different. I don't know what got them, but they were very adamant about
you don't know what got them. I mean, looking in their place, was it like,
well, I don't know what aspect of it, because you walk around Saugatuck and that's kind of what you get. But it was something, I don't know, a certain person or a certain couple or something that kind of freaked them out.
The wrong guy winked at them.
Maybe. Maybe. Billman writes in on the message board. Use it. It's on our website. Jay said Biggie stank today. So he's referring to something we said in the show just today. Jay said Biggie stank today, and E himself admitted that he pissed his pants, slept in them, and hasn't showered. He also can't remember the last time he washed his hands. Ladies, he is still single. Just keep that in mind. It is. How has he not been gobbled up?
He's a superstar in training.
It's a mystery.
Hey, Mike writes in, referring to Rachel, the Red Bull representative.
Yes.
He asked simply, is Rachel single?
Ooh.
Winky face.
Whoa.
Huh?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We could probably find out, though.
Probably find out, Mike. Joel writes in, King, Prodder, and gullible moron. I pen you this email to inform you I have made great use of some show vernacular. I attended both Greenfield Village along with the Great Lake Crossing Aquarium this weekend, and I must say thank you. Never have I spoken so openly about the native glad bag garb some choose to wear. Unfortunately, my girlfriend wasn't as excited as I was. I was shouting, look at all these glad bags left and right. One had only a hole for the eyes to see.
Yeah.
I would think a breathing hole would make sense too, but this is America, and who am I to say how you wear your glad bag?
Yeah.
Some glad bags were the white kitchen glad bags. Some tried to hide their glad bags under regular looking clothing. And then all the little Proops glad bags. Best part was they had no idea I was talking about them as they were standing walking right next to us. 'Twas a fun day. Also, my girlfriend misplaced her glasses. Where are my glasses? In our hotel room, and I had to make use of, have you seen my glasses? She didn't get it. I banged her all weekend and got several BJs, which brings me to ask E, my Ask E question. What did you do this weekend, E? Lazy fucking retard. Come out of the closet already. Bye, BUI.
I think we already explained what I did this weekend. So if you listen to the episode,
sounds like it wasn't as good as his. I don't know.
I thoroughly enjoyed my weekend. So.
He went to Greenfield Village. He went to Great Lakes Crossing. He banged his girlfriend and got several blowjobs.
The only thing
several blowjobs in a weekend. That's nice.
The only thing, obviously, is the sex. The other stuff, I've been to Greenfield, been there, done that. Man, I went up north. I was on a freaking lake for 2 hours on a boat.
But he had a lot of sex.
I know. I said other than
that's a huge part of
BJs.
I said
what you desire. So I'd say he had a better weekend than you.
I disagree.
Tim writes in, greetings, paratrooping lawyer, identifying as Thin Hermit and Mrs. TCG. Your topic the other day about cell phone butt dials had me harken back to a few years ago, and I had an unfortunate butt dial take place where my mom was the recipient.
Oh boy.
That could be really bad. Oh my God. There could be a number of things said that would just be shocking to mother. I was leaving work one day, and
don't you think mom's got a responsibility to just hang up when she realizes?
Yeah.
I mean, if your mom's gonna hang, your mom E would hang and listen.
Yeah.
I think my mom would hang up. I like to think, anyways.
Like
Cheryl,
all of a sudden are in the middle of a sexual episode
or something.
Yeah, I would expect your mom not to listen in on that,
as I would on her. If I were to get
you wouldn't listen to Bob just swooping into that ass. No,
no. Son of a bitch, no. Would you hang out and Gav, get in here? You got to hear this. Bill's going big.
No, this is about you.
Bill's
this is about
high.
you. Don't try to.
You're not going to believe what Bill's trying now. This is amazing. It's been going for 45 minutes. He truly is a first ballot.
Tim
Hall of
says
Famer.
I was leaving work one day. And while I was pulling out of the parking lot, my phone dropped between my ass and the side of the side center console. As I pulled out of the lot, I had this woman almost hit me. In the movement of swerving to avoid the accident, I leaned into my phone, which unknowingly placed a call to my mother. As my mom tells the story, as soon as she answered the phone, all she heard was me shouting, "What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid bitch?" Followed by, "Fuck off, you dumb whore." My mom said she hung up the phone, not sure what was happening, but needless to say, the next time I actually talked to my mom on the phone, I had to explain that those comments were not directed at her.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work, guys. Thanks for all you do. Tim.
Thank you, Tim. That's hilarious.
Okay, here's one from a visitor on our message board. I really think E is gay and in love with Mike. You notice how he never has anything nice to say about Beh, and just his tone whenever Mike mentions her name.
Yeah,
that is interesting. He does have a curious disdain for Beh.
That is not true.
I think it is.
I don't know.
That is.
Do you
not
love
true.
me, you son of a bitch?
If I have that emotion in me, you're very high on the list. But it really.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
But it really just.
I expected. Fuck you, Mike.
No.
That's exactly what I expected.
I didn't expect like him to acknowledge that he wants to bang you.
No, I don't want to bang you. It just all goes back to me.
Bang you.
I have a very high feeling towards you, but that obviously all goes back to the everything with the internship and this everything everything I did this weekend and everything I've done since
you owe him everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So of course I have
everything you have and will have in the future is owed to him. So let me ask you this. If Mike said, E, all I want in return, all I want, you know where I'm going?
Is what?
Is to bend you over and bang you in the ass.
Am I out of my parents'
That's all he wants.
Okay. Am I making money off the podcast at this point?
No, this is sort of the threshold deal. Like, look, we're about to break this thing wide open, so to speak. And all we need to do is this final act of consummation. Would you let him?
Why?
Don't question the scenario. The scenario is what the scenario is. Would you do it?
If you're asking that, if I felt like Mike having to fuck me in the ass.
The answer's no, E. The answer's no. Very, very simple.
Just wait for his answer.
I really need this podcast to work. So
you'd let it happen, wouldn't you?
If I knew that by this action, the podcast would take off,
you'd present.
I might present.
This answer was easier than the 80 mile per hour one.
All he asked was, "Do you love me?" And thinking he'd go, "Fuck you, fuck you," and then we get all this. All of a sudden, you want to let Mike bang you up the ass.
And
wow.
It sounded like you'd buck back, too.
He would.
You'd get into it.
Yeah.
He asked you if you'd present, and you said
you would
yes.
present and provide a bit of rhythm.
I never said anything about rhythm. Never said anything about rhythm.
Well, that'd be over the line.
It would be. And by the way, in this scenario, the only way it's happening is that for some reason in my mind, I believe that by letting Mike bang me in the ass, that the show is going to like take off apparently just beyond my wildest dreams.
That scenario was so utterly absurd and ridiculous, as if we'd be able to foresee, if only I could anally rape you.
No, you're like holding
off.
the purse string. No, you have it. We've got it. We're ready. All that needs to be done is basically a check to be cut to E. But that check will not be cut until he bangs you in the ass.
Well,
wow. E. You owe him. I mean, everything's owed to him.
If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here. So you're right. I do.
Hey, let's finish up. Let's finish up with sort of a similar note. Rob writes in, "Hey guys, what's up with that dude that was freaking out about John Wayne on Friday? I assume he's either a caveman, homophobe, or one of those gay dudes that pretend to overly hate them even though he's gay himself. I have a sneaking suspicion that he wishes that John Wayne were alive, not to stick his boot up the book writer's ass, but so he could suck John Wayne's old wrinkled gay dick."
Who is this?
Remember that guy?
Ian Halperin?
No, the dude was criticizing us because we didn't push Ian Halperin on that.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, the Duke would kick his ass. The Duke wasn't gay."
Yeah.
Well, Rob suspects something.
Oh no!
In terms of our listener, we'll save the rest for tomorrow, Mike.
All right. Well, let's.
Hey,
what do you got,
Friday at Laugh Tracks again. I'll be there at Laugh Tracks.
Local. Look at this
Friday night, and I know I said this last week, but man, for some of the people that have come more than a few times, you will be getting new stuff. You will not just be getting the same jokes you heard the last time you saw me. I promise.
Very good.
Don't forget about the Amazon link. Hey, don't forget to share our shit on Facebook, please. Please give us a rating on iTunes, along with a 5-star would be nice,
5-star,
right?
preferable. That's our.
If you can't find it in your heart to do a 5-star, don't
even
do
vote.
one.
Yeah.
You're not going to give us 5 stars yet. Don't even vote. Don't give us no 2 stars.
Yeah. Please.
If you're not completely satisfied, please let us know how we can fully satisfy you so that you can give us 5 stars.
Yeah. And a nice little write-up review.
Yeah, that'd be good.
5 minutes.
So yeah, share our shit. Tell people about it. Use our show samples, man. That's why they're there. Those are really easily shareable. Shoot those around to people because we want to grow the audience. So
yeah, and Twitter too. I've tweeted a few of those out. I think Jay has.
I have too. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Share those around.
But jump on our website under Interact, right?
Yes, sir.
And you'll see a bunch of those, and you can peruse those. And I'm sure you'll find one that you like that you think your friends will like too.
Yeah. With that, we'll call it a day for a Monday. Thanks again to everybody at Red Bull and all the people that came out and we were hanging out with. It was great seeing everybody. And we'll call it a day there. We'll see you guys tomorrow with an all new Tuesday edition.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God, watch you grow.